So does anybody have any lingering questions before I start session?
Nothing comes to mind.
Nothing at the moment.
I'll get us started. Music stream is streaming in Discord as always. Join that if you want music in the background. Other than that, let's hop right back into it, picking up from where we last left off. After entering the serene landscape of Neverlight Grove, your party made contact with Basidia and Philo, the dual sovereigns of this Myconid colony. Both welcomed you warmly, but Philo seemed to be distracted, obsessed with a mysterious day of joy. As tensions stirred beneath the surface of this fungal paradise, the group engaged with the leaders of the Circle of Hunters and the Circle of Spores, forging new alliances here and there where they could. In your first test of strength within the Grove, the party confronted and defeated the Neverlight Shambler, a monstrous creature that had been corrupted by strange spores and has been sapping the very soil of its nutrients here. You also recovered the carcass of the Grick for study by the Myconid sovereigns, and with this task completed, Basidia offered a tour of the Grove. In between sessions, I believe Eric spoke with the Moon Elf siblings, reflecting on the dangers of the Underdark, and offered weapons to the elf siblings. Alara accepted a short sword, and in a ritual dedicated to Sehanine Moonbow, she blessed the blade with divine moonlight, making it a symbol of her faith. Uranus, though quiet and contemplative, revealed his growing concern over the strange waking dreams both he and his sister have been experiencing, possibly related to the spores. Despite these worries, he accepted the green flame mace, and activating its cyan flame with a whispered word, has now come to possess it in his grasp. During the oncoming short rest that you guys agreed on, some of you have witnessed your companions struggle to focus on their meditations. Alara in particular, she has taken to restlessly wandering the nearby gardens, muttering to herself about needing purification from the infection. She appeared paranoid, examining her skin for signs of disease and rubbing moss in her wounds. Uranus, her brother, who was haunted by nightmares, unable to find peace, he complained of the campfire's overwhelming brightness and became disturbed by the sound of dripping water nearby, sort of interpreting it as cries of decay. Still, in contrast, remained joyous. Now it hums a melody and speaks of the great cedar's upcoming day of joy, sharing a fragment of a vision of a divine union. And lost in this reverie, still sort of continued interacting with nearby Myconids, focusing entirely on the celebrations ahead. So, after the hour of respite comes to an end, if, Lorien was with us, I would give Eric the choice to, since he was unable to rest, and since he have felt that creeping discomfort as if these insects crawl beneath his skin, Eric's mind now shall fixate on this fear of infection, both for himself and others. And while this place, there's something wrong about it, and it's starting to get to him, the part of his soul already touched by the abyss, from conflict comes catharsis. One cannot deal with anxiety and fear without facing it head on, so in the coming hours or so, Eric will have a chance to find peace of mind. Should he spend 2 of his hit die without recovering any hit points, he can reduce his madness by 1. So Lorien, later when you're watching this, the choice is yours. With that said and done, what would you like to do, group? This is the end of your short rest.
I'll look over to kind of the rest of the party and just, voice my concern to everyone. If the 2 moon elves are kind of acting a little strange. See that there? That's why I told you I don't trust them. infected with something. Now it's getting to their heads a little bit, and you want to take them right in there. Bad business. I don't know. Maybe Basidia can whip something up for them, like I don't know, some fungal concoction or something.
That's right. She did offer to make some potions for us, I believe.
Well, she gave us this really nice scroll, but it's it don't smell too good. As he like kind of unfurls the scroll of protection against fiends. Anybody really want this? If not, I'll claim it for myself.
Yeah. Keep it, but they have been traveling with us, and they have help. If whatever is influencing is on the other side, we may cut it. So, they're more than welcome to come from my side.
You want to take them in there when they're all different?
No, if what is this party if not different? And I point at self and at you.
No, I belong here. It's all you who are different, surface dwellers. Look, if you want to take him in, that's fine. Just use caution. They just seem a little riled up.
Says Jim Jar. He offers you a smirk. Hey, is that a little bit of frothing saliva on the side of your lip? Are you feeling crazy about it?
Well, I feel fine. What are you saying?
Must have been a trick of the light. I thought you got the rabies for a second there.
Well, let me tell you something, you little shit.
He's just...
It just banters.
Yeah. So, for the sake of quick recap, judging by this map, we have a few key NPCs here for you to recognize, Bo. The various circles are marked, but this over yonder will be the Sovereign Basidia, and who is currently resting with a group before returning to its duties. The other Sovereign would be Philo, which is found in the inner circle. If you have any questions, ask away. I'll try my best to sort of review things.
Okay. Yeah, not right now. I mean, I kind of know this is the guy who's kind of Philo's the one that's kind of ushering in a new kind of hive mind kind of, and the Bacilla seems a little bit skeptical of what's going on. But yeah, I don't have any questions right now. Thanks.
So we were told that the Garden of Welcome is off limits until tomorrow, but something tells me we should not wait till tomorrow to investigate.
Oh, that's right.
I'm all for going, if we can, without making a lot of commotion.
Well, as is a pretty big group, it's going to be kind of hard to squeeze everyone in, especially with all the festivities going on. And he just starts to kind of rack his brain, and he starts to just kind of twirl his mustache a little bit. Me, I got it covered. I just give him the old slip, and that's it. Just walk right by him. Won't even know I'm there. As for the rest of everyone, I don't know.
And Laura said that she saw an entrance to the cliff, or a possible entrance to the cliff around this area.
Where was that cliff at?
Here.
Right there, okay.
I think we were also told that it looked like we could access maybe from the Circle of Builders to the Circle of Growers, and that maybe there was a ledge here. I'm not sure if that's true. I'm just looking at the map.
But
Okay.
Bastida said that the Circle of Growers is supporting Pylos and the Great Joy, so I think it's better to go through people that may not be so enthusiastic about that festivity.
Bacida have any any recommendations on what way would be the best to gain entrance?
No. She is.
Do you ask her? Keep it from her, even though it's an it, but yes.
It, yes.
Should you confer with the Sovereign, she does advise conferring with the Circle of Explorers, which is an area of Mycon that's loyal to its cause. They are currently busy themselves with making preparations for the journey out of Neverlight Grove to migrate away from whatever's going to transpire here, whatever this wrongness is. But in the meantime, they might be able to aid you in trespassing and circumventing the entrance to the garden via the South Passage.
That sounds like a delightful plan then. Perhaps we meet the Circle of Explorers. Basidia, would you guide us there and introduce us?
She can do that. Are you guys ready to depart?
Well, so Eric ain't looking too hot right now. Maybe he sits this one out. And then kind of just looking him up and down, just, with whatever he's kind of going through and what a lot of people seem to be going through. I'll take out a blanket, put it around him, see if he's got like the chills. Yeah, he just, whatever.
You catch daggers from the two moon elves because you're taking care of one of your party mates, but when it comes to that feeling a little sick.
He's racist, man.
Yeah.
I'm not racist. He's royalty, and I need him.
Royalty.
Gold digger.
That's even funnier. Somebody not read our P apparently. That's fine. We'll get to that.
Racist second part.
Two NPCs here to be equal with Eric, so you can have some nobles to talk to, so you can stop talking with the riffraff. It's funny to me. Anyways.
But I'm not like babying him, like mothering him. Just like, all right, here's a towel, and
wipe stuff off.
Or here's a blanket, and then keep your head straight. Just a little bit of whatever. But
break my immersion. I picture you kissing his forehead and giving him.
No.
I ship it.
My sweet prince.
Perhaps we go to the Circle of Explorers, and if anyone is not well, perhaps they could wait there for us. That might be more restful than here, near the inner circle.
Yeah, you don't need all this mucking about. Why don't you go take a seat over there, bud?
Sure. As he goes to take a seat over there, bud, you see a little butterfly flutter by, as Eric will remember this.
You're fucking right, Eric. You better.
Well,
do you want to try to like find anything, to concoct anything? If I don't think we have the time, but from Basidia, she said she might be able to concoct some stuff, but I don't know how long that would take, or if she has anything ready.
In the meantime, while you guys are exploring the Guardian of Welcome as she asked you, she will be able to get on that. For restraining both the Greek and defeating the Shambler, she's willing to give you 2 potions of healing of a greater rarity that she'll take some time, but using the expedited help of her whole ring of mushroom and circle, she'll be able to craft those expeditedly and have those ready by the time you guys return. And I keep calling her she. It very much wishes you to return swiftly, but so that will be done when you guys return.
All right. Sounds good to me. I think we might get a little banged up here. Hopefully not, but...
As a reminder, potions-wise, I mean, Ivan's character is loaded.
Yeah, he handed a lot of those out, too.
He's been making those left and right all throughout your journey here, so...
Yeah, I have one of them. Just remembering, Eric has a sun sword. And if that's exposed to any possible threats, it would help us, but he's looking pretty rough. I guess we'll just turn to fire if we need it. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah.
Does anybody wish to handle Dawnbringer?
Not something I'm really too great with.
Okay. Cool.
All right, well, don't all rush forward.
If you're all
Alright,
ready to set
keep
out,
it.
nobody wants to do anything else here. I'll introduce you guys to the Circle of Explorers. Basidia takes the lead and shows you to them, sort of by taking specifically this route around here to them, to get to them, since you are blocked otherwise. But it shows from climbing this cliff, unless you wish to climb. That won't stop you. Roll me an athletics check, but otherwise she will follow the natural path because Myconids are peaceful like that. They don't commit to athletics. That is for the Circle of Explorers.
There is a
We
wall
have a
right here.
Oh, let me just whatever. Your guys are there. All good. There's no combat here, so
Okay.
you guys are there. The reason
yet.
why I have a wall there is different reasons later on. Climb on up. Along with Shushar and 2 elves in tow, as well as Jim Jar in the shadows, as always. No problem. The Circle of Explorers is distinct from the others, smaller and more transient. It's the temporary home for Myconids who are ever curious and restless, explains Basidia, venturing out into the vast Underdark as scouts and patrols and pathfinders. The area is marked by an assortment of gear and supplies, sort of like evidence of the explorers' constant readiness for their journey ahead. And Basidia introduces you to Rasharu. Rasharu is this little guy over here, the leader of this circle. Rasharu's demeanor is cautious and watchful as he watches you approach. Unlike the other Myconid leaders, Rasharu's loyalty turns out to belong to Basidia, and it is ever unwavering, shaped by the frequent trips outside the grove and the acute awareness of the creeping madness influencing the Underdark. It has seen things that the other Myconids has not, and has begun to see those very same corruptions here in its home.
That's a cool design.
Thanks, I did not make it.
Oh, really?
It's
all AI.
It's AI. That's a joke.
Yeah.
Cool. So, you guys meet them. Do you guys want to do anything specific among them? Or I'll just take the lead monologuing.
Well, I mean, I suppose that we're here to ask a way to get into the Garden of Welcome, right?
Ah, yes.
Oh, that's...
The Garden of Welcome. You are perceptive to notice the growing troubles. You've seen it, no? The changes in Philo. The colony is indeed being unsettled as we watch. I can lead you there, yes. For my loyalty lies with Basidia, and I trust in its wisdom over the shifting whims of the sovereigns. In these uncertain times, I've prepared for contingencies. It looks about the various supplies and whatnot already back on its back, or it looks like it's ready to run any minute. If Basidia decides that it's best to abandon the grove and return to a nomadic life, I have made preparations. But I suppose the knowledge of what lies beyond the grove will do. Unless you have any other questions, I will lead you there. We will have to keep low. Keep the brush.
Just say that the behavior of the Myconids has been similar to things that you have seen in other places. How did it end up on those places?
I don't understand your question. How did it what?
Like he said, like the symptoms that the Myconids have, he have seen in other.
Yes, and your question
communities,
was?
I guess. How the other communities ended up? Like, did they die? Did they kill each other? They vanish?
You misunderstood. It has seen monstrosities out there. Demonic incursion brings with it all sorts of aberrations in the dark that it has had to hunt down, defend its own colony. It has not encountered other settlements, but it has encountered Myconids migrating to this colony, and some of them arrived same as you, and same as any other Myconid as themselves. Others have arrived more hollow, their thoughts robbed for them, and very easily attuning with Philo's philosophies, as they began to dance and be elated without any reason, blindly following Philo's sort of anathematic ideas of this upcoming union, this celebration. Like puppets under his strings.
Okay.
But he has seen monstrosities and such. So we flavor it. Your interaction with the Circle Explorers and what they are willing to share with you, it sounds very much similar to what you've encountered ever since you've escaped Valkenbelv. Dead and Dark is by no means a safe place, but it has become even more perilous since, as Shushar shifts uncomfortably in his spot, remembering what has happened to his home. He does not want this place to share the same fate.
Isabella, what has become of the resonance stone? Were we able to switch it off?
You see the tiny construct bird lands to your side, and you see bits of stone lands in your shoulder. I think we say it was off. So yeah, it's off.
I was just wondering if we needed to maybe make sure that stayed away out here, or was deactivated in case we are influencing them as well. So as long as we've got it turned off, that's what Gizmo's concerned about. So
Can you imagine if it's been
I
you
know
guys
we
all
had
along?
talked about that.
Oh, man.
We had talked about doing that in one of the Discord channels, but I didn't know if we actually had. So
Yeah,
No,
that thing
guys-
is potentially
You guys
dangerous.
did not make a decision, so I didn't enforce anything. So
can we turn it off?
yeah, what sort of kill switch option did you like from what I suggested? I gave you guys like 4 options in Discord. Did you like any of the specific ones I mentioned, or did you have one in mind? Or kill switch?
I think the switch was the one I remember.
Right, so for the sake of expediency, we're gonna say that you know how the stone, the resonance stones, if you look at it, it has like the frame and it has the pink gem. We're gonna say it's like a light bulb. If you twist it tight, it sets in place and it's on. If you untwist it ever so slightly, it loses some sort of a contact and is no longer resonating. That way, it's a simple action to twist it on and off.
Okay.
Cool. I'll add it to the item at the end of session. Sounds good.
Awesome.
Oh, you got any? Sorry to bother you, mate, but you got any more of those little what do they call them, bibba babbas or something? Those little explodey little flowers, like big old firecrackers.
The
got any
Myconans do
extras?
not grow Bibberbang, as the Bibberbang is an invasive species, but the explorers do
Yes.
inform you that some can be found nearby, outside of the colony. Do you wish to make a quick detour with explorers to show you to the field? Roll me a foraging check and see if you have luck finding many, some, or none.
All right, what do you guys think? Those little shits can blow something up and get a little fire going. Unless
I
you
mean,
think
I don't have a
people
problem with it as long as you stay at least 20 feet away from me while you're carrying them.
are- Absolutely not, mate. You're gonna be my meat shield. I mean, my partner in crime.
Well, I mean, you seem to be the one from the Down Under dock, so if you feel that it's necessary or useful, then I'm with you.
There is an alternative, a far safer alternative, because I can't express how dangerous Bibberbangs are. These noxious mushrooms that, with their vapors, can set aflame an entire grove. There's a very good reason why they don't grow them here. They do grow, however, these lesser versions called torch stalks. Torch stalks also are flammable and explosive, but not to such extreme degrees. They're more useful if you, and are often used by explorers for, like, you know, more concentrated blasts, large targets, but, like, you know, not as extreme as a big bang explosion, because the chain reaction of those is nuclear in proportions in comparison.
Yeah. Alright, I'll take a couple of those. Just got a couple lying around.
Torch stalks?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead and roll me 2d4. See how many mature specimens he has spare from his pack and such. You get 4 torch stalks, and torch stalk handouts can be found here. Let me just present them to you. If I don't already have them somewhere, I'll find them in just a moment.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm adding resources and everything.
I believe some of you guys have torch stalks on you that you just did not use ever since Warsaw Tunnels, but that's you guys to use. So in this little handout I have, Fungi of the Underdark, you can look up torch stalks under the exotic fungi specimen. Specifically, I'll post it to chat. There it is. It's for the very last one. You got 4 of those. Because otherwise, Nick, you're asking him, like, do you have any bombs on hand?
Do you have any grenades? Do you
Yeah.
have any explosive C4? No, that's fine.
You just see like a mic on its strut and backfield and just get blown up by a mine.
Yeah.
They missed one.
Oh fuck.
So it says
Also,
there is a 1 in 6 chance that the torch explodes when lit. And I can also say, like, if you do it on intention, it ignites. Like 1 round before it explodes.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Also, no, you know what? I'm fine. We're good.
Okay.
If anyone else needs anything, now is the time.
Me good.
I think I'm ready to go forward, but is Eric going to stay out here, I assume, and rest?
I mean, we could bring him with us. He'll just be in the background.
Yeah, I'm not playing as Eric. Did you,
I mean, he
Jeff,
can.
did you
he
have
can, like,
any
wander back.
concerns regarding Lorian's character that you want to voice?
No, I didn't know if we were going to. I just assumed he wasn't going to be with us, so I figured we could park him someplace where he can be comfortable, and we'll come back and get him.
He can be here, he can be in the background. Either way, he's in a wagon for the same reason why I wouldn't play your character if you were gone, because I don't want to accidentally kill your character when you're not here. So generally, a group just puts people in the wagon, in the background. Eric does not need to be, he doesn't have a broken leg, he's not disabled, but he's just not actively on the screen. He's fighting in the background, whatever threats are off screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Generally how that
I'm
goes.
ready to go then.
Or if you're ever absent, you can always tell me, like, the player can always tell me, oh, my character does this during this session. If Florian messaged me this and tell me, I want Eric to do this session instead of sticking with the party, I would have done that, but because he didn't specify in the background. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
I guess we could take him with us. He just kind of sits in the background, watches our rear or something, just in case.
Yeah.
But kind of like off to the side a little bit.
If I have to guesstimate, Lorian will probably want to witness what you guys are witnessing.
Yeah, I would say so too.
We can say that he holds the torch stalk and he stands like 100 feet away from us until we need it. If you want to do that.
He can be like the Olympic guy who just runs in and like blows up like the big bad.
Like
or
the
something,
orc from
maybe,
Lord of the
or,
Rings
like,
who
whatever.
ran toward the
Yeah,
gate.
yeah. He
Exactly.
just runs in.
The
He
helm
just comes in.
teamwork.
Torch boy.
Yeah, I'll give him 1 torch stock. There you go, Mike. Be careful with it.
Cool. If your entire group is ready to head out without any further ado, the Circle of Explorers leader, Rusharu, will provide advantage on your stealth check to stealth around. And get everybody to roll me stealth checks, please.
Yeah, I'll also help with shadow magic and
Sure.
give everyone with pass without a trace.
No
So you'll add a
problem.
+10. As I do that, just kind of like pushing my hands together and kind of doing some little dark magic, like this dark inky like magic starts to spill out, flows from my hands, kind of wraps around each other or everyone's like greaves and their boots a little bit, and kind of sits around there. Don't forget, it's a +10.
Mhm. Really, I'm just watching if any of your rolls a 2 or a 1.
And I got to roll for Clank too, right?
Imagine rolling a 2 or a 1 with advantage.
And a +10. Woof.
You don't have to roll for Clank, it's fine. I'm just getting the main characters. And I'm not gonna have, 7 other characters are ruining it for you guys. It's all good. So we can say that if that's everybody, you managed to make your way around the Garden of Welcome. At the edge of it, the Rusharu, the leader of these Myconic explorers, is going to part ways with you here, as well as Basidia, who returns to her duties in the inner circle, leaving you to explore this area. With you then will be the Moon Elves, Shushar, and Jimjar, with Rumpandump and Stool, lest you say otherwise, remaining with the caretaker of the little sproutlings here in the grove, the leader of the Circle of Spores. Everybody agree with that?
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Cool. So, this plateau rises higher than the other terraces, screened by a natural fence of like soaring Zerkwood stalks. You can hear the muffled murmuring from up ahead, from beyond the top of the plateau. As I put us in Theater of the Mind for now. Why not put us on a little loading screen? Why not? And get rid of this big guy here from last session. And while I'm at it, change the background color a little bit to something more akin to this environment. A little darker, more eerie. That's nice. And a little bit of a theater of the mind for you guys.
Moody.
As I change the music while I'm at it. The low muttering that you hear grows louder as you reach the top, turning into a symphony of moans, cries, hisses. The only light comes from a few glowing mushrooms along the edge, but even in the gloom you can't miss the source of the sounds. The heads of creatures, of a dozen humanoid Underdark races, peek from the ground, mold and fungi growing around them. One voice calls out loudly, a female drow fighting to speak. Please, for your gods of light, kill me. You spot one of the heads nearby, a gross amalgamation of half form, half fungus. She manages to stir within her living grave, raising a spider medallion half embedded in the bloated growth that was once her hand. Half her face is rotted and postulates a bed of these sprouting scores of tiny mushrooms. The Great Cedar Trap. She's here. The Lady of Decay. What do you do?
Gizmo's gonna raise his crossbow and look at his friends. I'm ready to take her out. I will take aim and fire.
What the rest of you guys do?
I'm just
You say this Great Cedar here. What else is with it or with her?
Do you pull the trigger, Gizmo? As your allies are asking questions of the head?
I'll hold while they're talking, but I'm waiting for the sign.
I mean, if that's what she looks like, then I'm not going to stop him. You know, he's asking for mercy, so.
I cannot leave her like this, even if she is an enemy.
oh, she's got what coming to her.
So as your group is
I don't
discussing
like
the
it.
background whether to kill or in mercy or let this thing live, what was it you asked me, Ivan?
If the Great Cedar was alone, what else is?
There are so many of them. Please, it hurts.
You call it a name, Lady of the Pest, I think. Why you call her like that?
The drow's words are ragged, each utterance causing more of her rotting flesh to seep with fungal growth. She tells you the full of it. Her name, Glinaya, a young acolyte of Lolth who was leading a scouting patrol from Valkenvelv. She had received an urgent sending spell from Lvara, instructing her to search near the grove for fugitives, unaware of the dangers that awaited her. I made a mistake. Her voice barely audible over the symphony of groans that rises throughout you. We accepted Philo's invitation, but we were trapped. The Lady of Decay. She's corrupting everything. Please, tell my people. Warn them. Her plea is desperate. Her eyes dart around as if searching for some salvation that will never come. It's clear that she's beyond saving. Her current state is a living nightmare of decay and fungal infestation. And as you take in Xenia's plight, there's a chilling sound that echoes from the garden's depths, a low, mocking chuckle.
And Gizmo's gonna let fly.
Cool. Your first shot is probably the easiest one you took in your entire life as you put her down. And
Okay.
she deflates. And is destroyed. No
So
more
she had
answers. Unless you use
Yeah.
your stone.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. We're taking a head with us. You say that she had a medallion in her hand, a spider medallion.
Yep.
Does it look like a simple trinket or
That
something
Clyde of
else?
Floth bears her religious symbols upon her, that were not taken from her body. It lies there in that pseudopod of a hand, now slack on the ground.
Yeah, my construct will pick it up and bring
Okay.
it to me.
As it does that, and you hear that low, mocking chuckle grow louder, the moans of the garden's victims suddenly take on a new tone of fear as something moves across the foul ground. You see it, first a silhouette and then comes into detail. A disgusting larval creature that rises before you, showing only vestigial fungal growths that hint that it might have once been a myconid. Let me put this guy on the map. There we go. It slithers towards you. The mold and lichen that covers it pulses with a sickly rhythm, and its slit-like mouth opens to speak. Welcome, travelers. The aberrant Myconid's voice gurgles and spits as it speaks both aloud and in your minds at once. You here for the wedding rehearsal? Friends of the bride? Or her intended? No matter. Let the love of the Great Cedar embrace you as you become one with her chosen, the Great Body. As the garden comes alive with screams from its buried victims, this creature releases out spores that send the heads around in a frenzy, jerking to and through as arms and pseudopods come lurching out of the ground, pulling them up like uprooting seedlings. You see two more of those drow scouts taking victim here rise from the ground to either flank of this creature. And then with its mocking laugh, you realize it is here to play with you. With its mocking laughter, it sees you as playthings and means to make you into this. It slithers closer.
Don't let it approach. We must take it down now.
More
Oi,
rotted
back up a
creatures.
little bit. I'm in this bottleneck.
While they are saying that, I will reply to his thing. We came for the rehearsal. And as you say, it doesn't matter from which side we are.
But first, a fair lady needs a dress, a coat, and it gestures toward the lichen-like webbing and shrouding one of the elven spore servants that has sort of taken to overgrow it. Clothes that seem to have burst from the flesh of these beings, and it means to give you the very same attire. Lest you mean to let it, I'll have you roll initiative.
Aye. We're walking straight into a trap. They're waiting for us. What are we doing here?
They already know we are coming, so why not see what they are planning?
I'm not gonna let that thing touch me. We fight.
Okay.
Alright, what kind of wetting are we doing here? So you, can you describe again like how the clothes were manifesting? Like the shroud?
Have you ever seen a mushroom bloom out its netting?
Yeah.
It's like that. Their organic matter has been converted to fungal moss and lichen and mushroom growth. It's part of them. Their bodies metamorphosed into this mockery of
gotcha.
like wedding clothes. They're not fancy clothes. They're not like tuxedos and stuff. They're like a mockery of that.
Yeah.
Still waiting for his
Before
initiative
we
rules.
attack or anything like that, I'd like to ask who is the groom of the Cedar?
It calls it the Great Body.
Well,
Alright. Scorched earth it is then.
Scorch earth.
Hold on.
just to be clear, the moon elves have been exposed to the same spores as that drow. Is that what we know?
No.
We don't know that for a fact.
Okay, but they've been exposed to some kind of spore, right?
A kind of
Yes.
spore that allows them to sort of use patches of mushrooms to basically like move from one patch to another.
Okay.
Some sort of like mushroom
Yeah.
teleportation kind of thing.
We are on top of initiative. We have Gizmo on first turn.
Gizmo will use his bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark on whatever the big thing is there, the myconid that's spewing forth its stuff. He'll cast Hunter's Mark and then he'll take 2 shots with his with his
Yeah, man, 100%. You don't have to narrate what you're gonna do. You can just make me the rules, and then I'll tell you the result of those. been doing? Both light crossbow strikes land, piercing the fleshy, half myconid form of this worm-like creature.
So that's 15, 19 total with the hunter's mark.
Mhm.
And I will hold my ground here. Since I used my bonus action, I cannot command flank, so he will stay put as well.
With a gurgling cry, one of the drow spore servants picks up a fungal infested short sword from the ground. Its blade, the metal itself, has blackened, whether by drawcraft or its exposure to whatever is in this garden, and it begins to shamble forward in a zombie-like motion toward the lot of you. And reaching out its hand toward Bazarak with you're still wearing that bandana of yours over your mouth, not to breathe in any of these spores. It shoots out a blob of them into your face in a spray. It's gonna be a d20 plus 4 against your armor class. The bandana being part of your armor class.
Ooh, that's a natural 20.
Yeah, unfortunate. You take 17 poison damage from.
Ooh, yeah.
I think you have to Wagar resistance to poison.
Yeah, Dwarven Resilience.
Nice.
I have advantage on any saving throws. And the poison condition on yourself, you have resistance to poison.
Resistance to poison, and I was going to give you advantage anyway because of the bandana flavor, but it's nice to know that you have resistance, advantage on saving throws as well. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw against the effect of poison.
Constitution. 18.
Nice. You managed to avoid being poisoned, whether by your Dwarven resilience or otherwise. As Shusha raises his gilded staff up in the air, trying to support a lot of you, he's going to go ahead and cast Shield of Faith on the most soft armor of you, which would be... Who seems to be wearing the least amount of armor? Definitely not Isabel, I know that much.
Self.
Probably self.
Self, you
I have
are...
17, so
Somehow. Nonetheless, I'm going to Shield of Faith Self. While he's concentrating on that, you have +2 to your armor class.
okay. Can I put that on my face? It does not seem fun. Okay.
Sure. Alrighty then. As he continues to concentrate on that, cower. Otherwise, we have this creature who I'm going to refer to as Yesterbrood going forward, because that's its name. I'm going to go ahead and let it load as I open up its sheet and go over it real quick because I just got home, so I didn't get a chance to do this. That's sick. Okay, cool. It's gonna go ahead and slither forth and deliciously absorb the corpse you've just created for it into itself, and just eats her up. Alright, so that's 20. Half is 20. I'm just reading it real quick. 10-foot radius. Okay, cool. And as he mulches the corpse up in this foul mush, it regurgitates it back in a 30-foot cone, which I'm going to measure and put on the map as we speak. Anything that is highlighted by this cone for more than half your space is going to go ahead and be affected by this. So if I were to measure 30 feet... Cool. I'm gonna say Isabel, Bazarak, and Clank. Everybody, as this caustic spray of spores is released from Yesterbrood. Each creature in that area, please make me a DC 12 dexterity saving throw against this acidic spray.
sorry, I didn't mean to hit it twice.
Nice. You guys managed to avoid the worst of it, as there it remains curled up, almost like climbing up toward the wall. Elara, the moon elf, unsheaths her moon touch short sword and with lithe movement touches one of the spore encrusted mushroom patches nearby and sinks into the ground, reappearing a short distance up ahead, to then sort of slice twice at one of these zombie aberrations. You hear metal ring out as the first strike collides against something rock hard, as a plate of solid mushroom just deflects and sends the blade sparking. The second strike hits true in the center mass of the zombie as she twists the blade. The radiant energy of it, almost like a lightsaber, sends a tracing strike through the air as she deals damage to the creature, almost cutting it in half. We have big initiative on the boards, just bear with me, guys. Acting as one, her brother takes the same initiative term as her. Elara then brings her sword up in the air and sort of clasps it in both hands, and with a glint of it, it sends out a reverberating shrill cry out as a bright flash sends the Myconoids reeling back, blinded. We have the second of the siblings run forth upon a nearby ledge, and you see as he extends out his hand, a bonded weapon appears in his hand. This lunar moonbow of sorts. I'm just opening up this sheet, bear with me. As he sends a moonfire bolt forth toward one of the creatures, hitting one. With your allies taking positions there, we have the Myconids joined from the back flank, advancing forth. Bajorak, you're on deck after this, as I'll have Glabagul go in the same term as you. Slow, shambling creatures, they nonetheless dash forth to engage. I'm just checking for range. Okay. As Glabagul moves, lurching behind the group into action, Bajorak, go ahead and take your turn.
Okay. I'm going to use the bonus action and turn to a Velvilf. The snout becomes elongated, fur stretches all over. And then I'm going to... We're going to go 5, 10, right here. And then I'm going to do... let's do 2 razor attacks against the elf here, directly to my northwest.
Almost using the momentum of it, sort of reeling back from the radiant moonbow arrow that has stricken it close to the neck. It begins to lurch back in front to swipe at you, but you might catch it mid-swing to just slice its hand clean off. Yep, that's what I thought.
13.
That does it. How do you want to do this?
Oh, hell yeah.
They're very frail.
I had something I was going to say. It's like, twice as ugly. One of these little Myconid creeps, and also a drow. And then, says it as he's snarling. And as he goes with just one hand to kind of keep the momentum, and as he's probably going to transfer to the other target, he just takes his long sharp fangs, digs it into the chest, brings him up on the off his feet, and then just slams him back down, and then just keeps the momentum going, and goes for the guy on the right here. We'll hit him with another Twilight Razor. Only for an 8.
It manages to bring both its arms in front of itself to shield itself.
Let's do disengage action. No, yeah, we can't. Or dash. Never mind. Yeah, that'll be my turn.
No problem. As part of its legendary action, the worm-like creature slithers forth, and you begin to see some of its wounds begin to close up as I roll a d8. Yeah. +2. And it begins to recover its hit points ever so slowly, regenerating back. Alrighty then. Jimjar on his turn. He's gonna try and approach this like a rogue and act as one with the team. I'm always checking his spells, if they're bonus action or not. Unable to reach any targets in the melee, you just begin to see his form begin to blur, and there's an after image of him as he runs forward. He's gonna go ahead and action cast Blur and then bonus action dash. Isabel, you're on deck.
Okay. Trying to get a better point of view advantage. She climbs a little bit to the rocks and aim at the big worm and shoot it. $11 to hit.
That one of the larger folks does not deal any lasting damage. The big creature, he does not deal any lasting damage.
Okay, my tiny bird is gonna peek at the eyes of the guys. Does 13 hits one of these two? The one on the left.
The one on the left is stricken, yes. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yes.
6?
Yeah, 6. Yeah, 6 force damage.
You see some of its mushroom carapace just goes flying backwards, ricocheting as you make a giant gape crack in its armor.
That's it.
Shielded like cosmonauts bubble around your head. Self takes a turn.
Okay, to the big one. What do these ones look like? The smaller guys.
Which ones?
They're just like normal myconids. I'm gonna hex the
These ones?
the big worm. Yeah, I'm gonna hex the worm, and throw a couple blasts his way. 21 and 25.
Both hit.
Okay. 15, and not as good. A 12.
Total of 27 force damage. You send it reeling back, cackling, vibrating violently in its form. You have wounded it deeply. It is a bloodied creature.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna take a little bit of cover behind Globagool if possible, and that'll be my turn.
Sure. Jelly Shield. He manifests himself into like a little more like a kite shape. Alrighty then. The Spore Servant in the far back there is gonna go ahead and grab Alara by the neck and sort of breathe out in her face these foul breath of spores, yellow and green in her face. Alara's gonna make me a Constitution saving throw against infestation spores. Constitution. You can only watch as Alara's head begins to scream in agony, and a moment later, this happens so fast. Over 3 seconds, it splits down the middle and just fucking splits open, releasing a cloud of like these infesting spores and turning her into another one of these very spore servants that joined the fight on the other side.
Fuck.
She rolled a 10 on Constitution saving throw. That's a bad time. I'm gonna go ahead and put a new token for her. and put her on initiative on the other side.
I give a quick glance to Jim Jar.
Gizmo, yeah.
Jim
I
Jar
won the
owes me
bet.
money.
Curses and quickly tosses you the coin.
No, I'll collect it later.
Laura's
poor
gone.
girl.
Oh,
Dang it, boy.
very nice.
No.
Not for her, but nice artwork.
Gizmo, you're on deck as we have at the top of the next round.
Gizmo is going to take aim and fire twice at the big worm one.
Both hit. Rolling high.
There you go, that's great. And that's going to be for 22 plus the 2d6 from Hunter's Mark. So 26 points. And with my bonus action, I'm going to tell Clank to get up there and fight that worm. And I will move to a ledge over here a little bit further away. And Clank will move up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And he will do his Force Empowered Rend. 16 to hit.
16 hits.
And that will be for 9 points of force damage on the big worm.
It quivers disgustingly, belching out more of that foul offal, and as it does, one of the eyes swivels toward first Clank, then the corpse lying behind it. As the pupil shrinks down to a pinpoint, you see the corpse between Bajorak and Clank begin to sort of twitch and quiver and inflate, and then just burst altogether. Can I get, this is going to be affecting both Bajorak and Clank to roll me DC 12 dexterity saving throws against the acidic explosion of the corpse.
$13.
Very nice. Saving against it, you guys shield yourself from the worst of it, and the corpse is gone.
Still splattered with remnants.
Yep, still gross.
Yeah.
The ground itself seems to shake as something large and looming, almost like a silhouette of a gorilla advancing on all fours, charging forth, and shrouded in vines and moss and glowing yellow eyes, begins to approach from the north, ruling 8 on initiative. Flanked by like a crocodilian, you know, these lizard folks. They're people of the swamp from the surface, with this lichen-crusted bow and a similar pair of glowing yellow eyes join the fight as reinforcements. The freshly turned Myconid sports servant that was Alara, still holding on to a symbol of her old faith, begins to shamble forth like a zombie toward the front line. You hear a pained cry from her brother as he witnesses the terror that has become of her sister. As she charges forth, she lifts her blade up. Bajorak, as you see the blade flashing before you, it's a DC 15 Constitution saving throw against the blinding effect of the moonfire, as she still innately connected to this weapon, still a part of her channeling this divinity. Whatever these Myconid spores are, they're using her to channel this forth against you now, but you shield your eyes and avoid being blinded altogether. Very nice. There she remains, a shambling zombie. Just like something out of The Last of Us. Yester Brood searches the ground for more corpses, but finds none. Unable to heal, it begins to eye those closest to it and sort of maneuvering over yonder towards, it's going to be 10 feet from it. Measuring 10 feet. Sad. Okay, just really, you put the two non-organic beings in this fight. I guess Glablu counts. A area of infestation spores spreads out from it in a bursting cloud that spreads out 10 feet. Can I get? I need to read if this affects Clank. A flesh and blood creature. Clank's immune to
There you
it.
go.
Is Glablu flesh and blood? No, this sucks.
No.
I'm gonna say this.
Is the Myconoid next to him flesh and blood?
That's a fucking dumb turn. I'm not gonna do that. It's gonna squeeze by here, losing 15. That's 25, and that's gonna be 30. It's gonna play stuff here. I'm not gonna do this against non-flesh and blood creatures. It's gonna be a really dumb boss move. Sorry. So it's gonna go ahead and squeeze over yonder and do that infestation spore move. I'm gonna post it to chat because it's a little bit of a big paragraph, and you guys can help me out with it. Just releases spores that burst out in a cloud of fill a 10-foot radius sphere centered on it. And the cloud lingers for however long. Flesh and blood creatures in the cloud, when it appears or when they enter it later, must make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw. On a successful save, the creature can't be infected by the spores for 24 hours, but on a failed save, you are infected by the spores of Zuxmoy's Whisper. So, I'm gonna measure out 10 feet from its lower right corner, placing Isabel Bajarak in it and sparing Eric. That's better.
Eric, take out that fucking sword.
He's fighting in the back.
Use the light.
I don't even
Yeah, I
know why
know.
I have him on the map. He's fighting the. He's single-handedly taking out like 5 zombies in the back row because he's a badass. Did you just roll down a natural 20, by the way? No.
Oh, I need a constitution. I'm fucking stupid.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you advantage on this because you're wearing the bandana. Because it's funny. Cool.
18.
That's fine. Hope for the best. As you don't meet the same fate as your allies there. Hexed and Hunter marked. It finishes its turn there. Shooter is gonna continue supporting the team as the 2 Myconids take their turn as well. One of them strikes at Clank with its fist for 16 to strike against Clank. Clank does not take any poison damage, but he still gets bludgeoned for 5. That pierces his armor class. Otherwise, the other Myconid attempts to fist Bazarak. 15 strike. Yep, you guys are overleveled. That's expected. As I still decide what to do with Shushar, the Elven Scout screams in agony and begins to run toward his sister, trying to save her. As he passes by this Myconid, he sort of slides down the hill there and cross-cuts it as he slides with his attack. Aranis is going to go ahead and make a Flame Ace attack against it, striking for 21. 4 damage total, setting the Myconid partially aflame. As he continues sliding, Badger, go ahead and take your turn. I'll decide what Shusha does while you're doing that.
Okay. I'm gonna go for the big old worm here, because he looks pretty beat up a little bit. So let's just do Twilight Racers. These are normal attacks. No, that's a average. Okay. Oof, fail. 23.
23 strikes.
For an 8, and I'll spend.
Well, hold on. That's lethal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you want to describe it?
Okay, great. Yeah, as he's just going with his claws, the one misses, but the other one just gets like a big old uppercut, like it locks in low. Like I'm imagining the worm kind of reeled up a little bit.
Yeah,
He
like
connects low.
straight up out of Dune, one of those.
Yeah, and then he just like gets his nails into it low, and then just like
Mhm.
basically just like raises his hand and his claws up, and then just kind of just spills, the flesh apart with 5 stringy tendrils from his fingers, and Just kind of lets the insides fall out.
Gross. As you do that, in the same moment, just as Uranus reaches his sister, in almost like a bullet time motion, she goes slick. The monstrous beings that were advancing toward that big old gorilla becomes nothing more than a laxed corpse on the ground as it falls to. The zombies, all one by one, sort of lose control of their bodies and fall. The Myconid adults, terrified that you have vanquished Yesterprude, turn to flee. Do you let them?
No,
No.
I don't. I don't want to.
Then we continue combat. But the creature before you, the great worm, falls bisected onto the floor, dead.
Okay. I'm good with my turn here then.
Okay. Glabagul is going to go ahead and lurch forward in almost like climbing up the side of the wall, and then just letting gravity do its part as he sort of falls onto one of the Myconoids, engulfing it all together as it uses Engulf. Engulf. The cube moves up to its speed of 20 feet. While doing so, it can enter a large or small creature space. When the cube enters the creature space, the creature makes a DC 12 dexterity saving throw, otherwise being pushed out of its space. Let's go, Myconoid. What's your dexterity? Yeah, that's what I thought. No bonuses. That's strength, but the dexterity modifier is the same, 5 and 7. As it gets engulfed in Glabagul, on a fail save, the cube enters the creature's space, and the creature takes 3d6 acid damage. 12 acid damage to the Myconoid, nearly disintegrating it in under 6 seconds. And it's restrained. That's gonna be Glabagul's turn, so we have Isabel take hers.
Okay, I'll aim to the other Myconid, shoot at him. I didn't roll damage. Okay, should have rolled damage. 18 to hit, 23 fire damage.
23 fire damage singes it as it manages to burst out a final cry as you feel a singe of pain. It shares its pain with you as it burns, as it gets incinerated, and you just hear it. The circle of masters cannot fall. One of us is not enough. We will spread. And this, the thought just slowly fades out as it becomes nothing but ash and soot on the ground.
Just Isabel collapse for a moment on the ground, like guns down as she feels his body being seared. I think that's all.
No problem. Cool. It's just you guys dogpiling on the one Myconid within Glabagul. So Jimjar is gonna be like, "Nah, you got him." Self, what do you want to do?
I want answers. I don't think that we should build this one. I will. I absolutely will if you guys want to. No
Question to
Well,
the
he's-
question? Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Who is this Speeder, and who is this the great body?
The cedar refers to. Why does it why didn't know your answers?
Sorry, what was that?
I'm just thinking, what does know your answers? In its madness, it merely welcomes you to explore and find out for yourself. The gurgling and disintegrating within Glabagul's acid, it points further down the ravine which you find yourself to the north. To join the celebrations and see for yourself. She's something to witness with your own eyes, etc.
Glabagul donut, and then I just want to kind of have him, like, you know, spread eagle him into an X, and then I'm gonna hex and do 2 blasts. Is he restrained?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to low rolls, but there's that one, and
Low rolls, but it has 4 HP left. Like,
okay, well then, good enough.
yeah. As you sunder
Imagine
him
it kind of
apart.
like
Yeah.
like when Mr. Incredible was locked up. I don't know if you remember that movie, but
Yeah.
all right.
And that's the end of that. As silence momentarily settles upon the battlefield, you have about a moment to look around you. You're surrounded by the dead, both your own and both them, and unfortunately one of your own, as Aranis holds the limp body of his sister, sobbing. We were supposed to make it out together.
Trying to check for a pulse. Does she have any?
Oh, I mean, she's missing half her head. That's been like split open in the back, and there's no
Oh,
heartbeat.
fuck! Okay, my bad. I didn't understand that far when you described it. I
No,
thought
like
the
her skull
enemy-
cracked open to like send these like blossom of mushrooms from the back. Yeah.
I
Oh,
thought
shit.
you were describing the thing that infected her burst.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
what I thought.
Like, you
Yeah,
know,
me
described
too.
her.
Oh,
Oh shit! In that case, like I don't check for any pulse, man.
Aranis just
Yeah,
curses
good
under her breath. Gods, cruel gods. You were right. He looks at Bazrak. You were right. We should have never left. We should have never come here. He looks terrified. I never got to use my backup. Yep.
You never got to use what?
Don't worry about it. My backup. Don't worry.
Oh.
the big gorilla thing just collapsed. It is,
Mhm.
I guess, Kispo's going to cautiously approach and nudge it with his foot while he holds the crossbow.
The body's whole, for the moment, if you can call it that, body, but it does not stir. The eyes just stare. What was once like these pinpoints of yellow have grown dim, and you can see instead of eyeballs, it has these like two like almost plant matter beads, like bulbs inside the eye sockets that have just now grown slick. There's no response for a creature, and from without having to rule much of a nature check, just from your innate nature studies, you can tell what this creature is. It's a Quaggoth. An ape-like creature, a servant of the drow that they use as beasts of burden or otherwise brute guards, and it seems to have been caught up in this garden. What's curious about the creature, though, you know it has like what the remnants of like pauldron, like shoulder armor, to either shoulder of it that has been sort of corroded and bores like rust-like holes in it, and from those pauldrons down its back is like a regal cape, like the color of cyan.
This does not look like your Garden of Variety Quaggoth. Have you ever seen armor and a cape like this? You would just be directing this to his companions.
I can't say that I have. Let's take a closer look. I'm going to use prestidigitation on the cape to try to clean it up, see what we're looking at.
It looks of elvish craft with elvish runes upon it, but it is rather tattered. Even with some of your prestidigitation to get most of the muck off of it, it's still tattered and torn in places. But you can tell it is almost like made from elven nobility.
Tom, looking at this Quaggoth, does he looks like royal, like a prince kind person?
Do you recognize Prince Darendil as a corpse?
Oh, fuck that.
Oh, who's that? You know him?
You know this person?
Eric knows him, I don't know him.
Creature?
Yeah, he used to travel with
Holy
Eric
shit.
before.
I just realized Eric is the only person, like he's the only OG from Falcon Valve now.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I met him like for 2 seconds, I guess.
Yeah, above the table, guys, I just inserted a Valken Valve NPC that we parted ways with, and he just sort of, by roll of dice, found his way here. Seemed to have met his end. Eric, who's with the group, would recognize this creature indeed to be one Prince Darendil, who claimed to be a Quaggoth accursed by an evil wizard to assume this bestial form, but was truly once an elven prince. It seems like the curse has withstood even death. If it ever was.
Oh,
I guess I'll
oh boy.
Well,
I guess I'll do
whatever.
the same to the blade and prestidigitate it, respectfully, take the blade off the fallen, his sister. Does anyone want to hold on to this, or?
I believe that was Eric's blade he gave to her so she could protect herself.
think Aranis could use it. Yeah. Sorry for your loss. But we must keep moving. More things will be coming.
Through tears, Tom does not want to roleplay grief because it's a bummer. But through tears, he says something along the lines of like, he will find a way to bring her back. There must be some magic, some divine calling that can bring her back. He will not leave her corpse here to rot in this place.
Mate, you're asking for a lot right there, and you're getting into some slippery business. Asking for anything for help like that.
What
There's
would
other
you
creatures
do?
who will listen.
What would you do if your dear ones met this fate?
I live every day proud for them. I ain't gonna let my kin let me get all sobbed up over it. I'm gonna live every day to the fullest for them.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
I put that diamond statue like even further in my backpack. I don't know who has it, but I'm gonna be hiding it.
Aranis will remember that.
Gizmo's going to share with the group whatever it was that called forth these creatures from the ground. Could perhaps recall them again. Do we need to dispatch them further? Oh, not your sister, of course.
You got a little bit of fire. Ain't coming back from that. But if you want, we could do it to your sister too. Give her a nice send-off. That's proper.
He refuses to let go of the body. He refuses to let her end like this. They were meant to escape here together, meant to bring glory to their family name, to finish their quest here and surface back together. He will find a way to bring her back. He will not bury her here in this garden of filth.
Perhaps the sovereigns, Basidia, can help us, but we must press on.
There's a wedding to crash.
If you can
And
bring
I
the
fear
body,
more of these creatures to combat.
I can help you to carry the body later today. But just take care of it and keep your distance.
You just see him collapse with the body still in hand, just fall backwards onto the rock face and sobbing, just cradle her there. He's gonna be catatonic like this, having suffered a loss for some time. He is not going from this point. Here he shall remain, for now, to grieve. Those of you who look around more perceptive as the fog falls around you, see a nearby piled heap, not too far away from where these drow were buried. Among the heap is what looks to be a rucksack with like supplies and such. That was just like sort of tossed aside, or perhaps they just lost it before they were captured.
I'll give it a little look.
Mm-hmm.
Poke it with a stick. I'll grab if there's any like root sticks or just something firm to kind of just like pop the flap up, make sure nothing's gonna like jump out at my face.
Yes, made from what you recognize to be spider leather. The bag is lined with a thin layer of some sort of an adhesive web. As you sort of try and pry away the stick, you almost like drag the bag toward yourself and hear several objects rattle within before the stick unsticks from the webbing inside. The bag itself is curious in shape, not like your standard stone. It has 8 straps and like several black gemstones embedded in it to like almost resemble like little spider eyes. Did that bag just blink at you?
Ah! It just fucking blinked at me! You see that? He just like rubs his eyes like really hard. Gets the stick again and pokes it.
Even though the eyes adorning the bag are lifeless and unmoving, they still blink on the rare occasion.
I ain't touching it. Hey, go send your metal bot over there and do it.
Yeah, you see songbirds start to carry it if we can. If it's not extremely heavy.
I cannot paste images for some reason, so I'm just gonna do it on Discord. The bag looks like this. I'll post it in general.
Okay.
Weird.
Gizmo will investigate it more closely.
You can see that there's a thin layer of adhesive web within, and items that are stored inside a bag are sort of held in place by like web, almost preventing items stored from cluttering around or being removed without permission. You should just begin to rummage around, begin to sort of entangle yourself in the webs, and it takes you some time to actually fetch items from inside there and pull your hand apart from the bag. The strips themselves are also like adhesive, so you can sort of like hug your body however else, or even like stick to any surface that you would push this back toward too, like a wall, like your torso, and gently removing the straps just peels them away. Otherwise it takes some retching to get out of. All in all, you can't see a bottom to the bag though. You look inside and you see only darkness and like webbing and stuff.
And I will reach in and cautiously try to pull out one of the objects.
Your hand touches something small, smooth to touch, cold, and as you reach it out, you look at your hand and webbed as it is, and you see a small figurine of what you recognize to be a displacer beast, like a panther with these tendrils, crafted from like polished onyx. The sleek black stone captures the lithe, predatory grace of the displacer beast in exquisite detail, and from its tentacle-like appendages to its smooth feline form, you get an appreciation of that this like item belongs in a museum or something. When you use an action to speak this item's command word, it should do something. You can feel as an artificer there's some innate magic within it, but you do not know the word.
Oh, if you need help with that later, got me mason kit on it. Take a good look.
It's a definitely a valuable item. I can spend some time with it myself too. I think with my multi-tool, I might be able to find something more, but I don't know that now is the time for this.
Do you share the thing about the command word to the group?
Oh, I don't know the command word.
But do you share that we need one?
It looks like it's going to need some sort of command word.
We can ask the drow directly.
Life is in their pack, yeah.
Yeah.
You also find within the backpack 2 spell scrolls. You recognize them to be of that of Remove Curse and Spider Climb. There's a sack full of silver coins, and otherwise, as you keep reaching toward it, not knowing what you're looking for, you keep just finding stuff, and you keep pulling out like moldy, spoiled rations and fruit and vegetation that grows in the Underdark. Yeah, otherwise, looking around at these drow, their armor and weapons is not in a shape to loot and fight with.
Okay. So I'll grab the crystal and put it in front of the head of one of the undead drow and cast Speak with Dead.
Describe the ritual.
Yeah, I want to say I put the stone, I stuck it on the ground so it's standing by its own, and when I cast the spell, like a beam of light appear in the face of the drow, and in the crystal is where we see the mouth moving, the face moving.
And you're asking this drow bot over here, the drow spore servant?
Yeah, the spore servant.
Just need to know who you're talking to. Alright, cool. You grant the semblance of life to this corpse once more, allowing it to answer the questions you pose. The corpse must still have mouth, which it does, and it's no longer undead, it's now a corpse. Until the spell ends, you can ask the corpse up to 5 questions. The corpse knows only what it knew in life, including the languages it knew. Answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive, and the corpse is under no compulsion to offer truthful answers if you are hostile to it or it recognizes you as an enemy. This spell doesn't return the creature's soul to its body, of course, only its animating spirit. Thus, the corpse can't learn new information, doesn't comprehend anything that has happened since it died, and can't speculate about future events. Go ahead and ask your questions. You have 5. Choose them carefully.
Okay, the first question is, what's the command word for the bag? It's the bag, yeah.
For the backpack?
Mm-hmm.
The backpack doesn't have one.
Oh,
It's the Onyx Stone. It's the
Oh,
Onyx
the Onyx Stone, my bad. Yeah. Okay.
I was gonna say.
Hey, you never know. Maybe
Sorry.
they did have one, but now you know for sure certain that it either lied or it doesn't have one.
Okay, now for the Onyx Stone.
Guinevere.
Guinevere.
No, seriously?
Anyone
See-
has... Go ahead.
You see, Self is yelling password 123, password 1234 at you as you're doing this.
It breaks in half. Like you brute force it.
The other one is like, where is Ilvaras at the moment? No, last time you knew where is Ilvara.
Where is it?
Advancing down the southern end of the Dark Lake. Here, within days.
Okay. Did the Drow release the Abyss, the Lords of the Abyss?
It genuinely does not know.
Okay, that's fair.
You note the gender of this corpse. It's male.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Why did I pick
It is a lowly
Wrong.
soldier scout who's not privy to such information if they have such machinations. It generally does not know.
What's the name of your head scout? Or, like, the leader of your group?
Xenia! I think that's 4.
Yeah. Anyone has any other questions before we use the last one?
I don't. And he just goes limp.
Don't.
I mean, like you have your unlimited uses of it. So
Yeah.
Wait,
I
so-
can monkey paw that shit.
The figurine is it? You said it's a displacer beast?
Yes, Onyx Displacer Beast.
Oh wow.
Not a giant Black Panther.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, they look the same. Black Panther with tentacles.
One of my favorite monsters.
Yeah, it just kind of stands up onto its hind paws and crosses its front paws in front of his chest, saying Wakanda forever.
With six legs.
Mm-hmm.
No, we got everything out of the bag. Remove curse and spider climb. We can either just hold on to those or divvy them out now. If anyone wants them, call dibs.
Gizmo wouldn't mind having the bag.
You can take the bag though.
Oh.
Like as if it's coated in glue. The web adhesive just sticks to you wherever you stick it. It can be like a front pouch, it can be a backpack, whatever. A hat.
You just stick it on Clank's back, and he can carry it around for me.
Cool. Clank now has a cargo.
Does
Spider climb
anyone
and what was
want...
the other one? Remove curse?
Yes.
Yeah, spider climb and remove curse.
Ranus looks up with hopeful eyes between the corpse and the scroll held in your hands.
I'm not so sure that that's gonna help there, but
He's just clinging to any hope possible.
yeah.
But if we're not using the Onyx, I would say like it's the moment we could use it to carry the body. So he could not die here.
I don't want to call forth the figurine just a transported body. It might be more useful in battle.
You would know that you have heard Slash said the word out loud while having the stone out, and it did not react to the word, which I'm going to say implies that it requires just a way of you sort of deducing it needs attunement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
About that time right now.
Yeah. In fact, you don't. In fact, as you guys are discussing loose splitting and all that after this whole ordeal, and the quiet does not last, echoes spill from the misty cavern beyond. You hear a cacophony of wheezing voices that rap together like some kind of discordant music. The remaining heads planted in the Garden of Welcome, and there are many of them, begin to croak and groan, joining the horrible song. Through the mist that shrouds the small cavern you find yourself in, you see a parade of silhouetted creatures responsible for the melody. Their bodies are only vaguely shaped humanoid, with clusters of like luminescent lichen and termescent growths forming chaotic patterns on their decaying flesh, and their voices are like stabbing into your minds rather. Both insane and gleeful in equal parts, you can hear them sing, "From rocky bed that toadstool roads, from chaos dark, her love he shows. Wish, yearn, laugh, the lady will be wed. Crave, hunger, dance, her joyous spores will spread. Youth is gone, beauty rots. Aramicus and Zuktmoy join together heart to heart, becoming one till death do part. Hail, hail, hail." And they continue on singing.
Aye. Not on my end. We're gonna crash this wedding.
Yeah, and Gizmo's gonna put his crossbow on his back for the moment, don his shield, bring out his artificer tool, and he is going to ask if anyone object to me burning the corpses here.
As you hear the song, they are approaching closer to the point where some of you can see them from silhouettes appear through the fog. These two lumbering Chamberlains of Zuxmoy, big guys, big old giant dudes covered in fungus and rot, with many cyan eyes, begin to sort of lumber towards your group. They don't appear to be hostile as they lumber past where Gizmo is standing and toward the body of the worm. It seems to be their course. Do you stand in their way? Do you burn the bodies?
I'll break the head of the female troll. I'll take it with us.
Gross. You can imagine crack. I don't need to describe it. Yep. As you do so, they sort of stomp forward. You can see them stepping over other heads, planted to the ground as they scream out for a brief before they just get squished as they lumber on toward the worm and begin to sort of lift up the body and carry it, the two of them, toward the sound of singing, if you let them.
Yes.
Yep.
Definitely I'm gonna let them.
Yes, we're gonna let them.
Mm-hmm.
They outnumber us a lot right now. I'm
Even
careful
more
to
if
see.
it brings that worm back to life.
You hear a sickening thud as beyond the mist, the silhouettes drop the worm-like body onto the ground before a collection of similarly humanoid-shaped, vaguely humanoid-shaped creatures. They drop the body between a pair at the very front into what looks like to be like a wedding formation, a gathering of some sort.
Perhaps this is the dress rehearsal.
Well, let's go pay our respects. And he kind of puts a fist into one hand. Nope. I actually want to see if the actual Zuktmoy and whoever is actually going to show up. If a demon princess is here, like, something to see.
Sure. As you guys take watch, your other allies sneak in to sort of watch from the boulders from a safe place. From where you stand, you can see that below of the mock wedding is replaced by, like you can see them like sort of drop the corpse to sort of puppet the worm to act like sort of a priest between two figures. One of those hulking giant ones. And what looks to be like a fungal bridesmaid, I'd describe her. Okay. And as they go through this like mock of a wedding, you experience, all of you, a vision of the inside of the great tower that looms in the background of this great mushroom. Spiraling stairs and balconies are carved into the walls, with the interior lit by phosphorescent patches of mold growing in whorls. In the center of the open space floats a humanoid figure, woman-like in form but made entirely of fungus and mold. She's easily 3 times the height of the fungal bridesmaids that move up and down the spiraling stairs, tending to their great mistress. They croon a strange, soothing song as they weave the substance of the giant figure into delicate lichen veils and a long mycelium train like a bridal gown. And the vision ends as the ceremony before you ends, after which you can watch the creatures file solemnly back in lines and begin to march toward that great mushroom in unison, carrying the body of the worm with them as they begin to head northward.
I'll follow.
I'll follow him too.
I'm gonna just turn to Aranis and just say, Aranis, she's dead. If you stay here, you die too. You can't help her now. Best you can do is take a hand to something and try to get her reincarnated.
How can he get her reincarnated?
I don't know. I'm not an expert at these things, but you sitting over her corpse is not going to help, is it?
He doesn't know anymore what's going to help. He just lost a sibling.
Bring her with us. We'll find a way. But, don't stay here. Don't
So you would
follow her
have,
to death.
have him leave her here?
No. Bring her with us.
Okay.
Um,
He rises to his feet and cradles her in his arms and just carries her, weeping over his corpse like Hagrid carrying Harry Potter in that 8th movie. That was a good scene.
Yeah.
Fair enough. As you guys move on northward. Characters witnessing the wedding rehearsal and the accompanying vision must succeed on DC Wisdom saving throw or gain 1 level of madness as you keep on pushing your minds witnessing all this.
Oh, jeez. I don't like this, man. Oh, okay.
Choosing, well, I mean, like, you're the one who's choosing to follow this crazy train.
Ooh.
Yep.
Gizmo has advantage on wisdom against magic, if that matters in this circumstance.
Rule 20 said it doesn't matter in the circumstances.
I would say
14.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
If I felt this kind of trying to invade my mind, would I be able to use guidance on this check?
Do you have guidance?
Yes.
Oh, guidance doesn't work on
I didn't know you
wisdom
were.
saving throws.
Ability checks not.
Sorry, resistance.
Sure, go for it.
Okay.
I won't say you felt this way before, but I mean, like, I'll allow it.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So, from where you stand as you follow the procession, you have no clear reference to judge the towering mushroom size at a distance. By the way, Bedrock, is that a failure? Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me. So you know how to mark madness on your sheet, right? As it goes up by 1.
I don't see a madness thing on my sheet.
Well,
I just have
because
to
you have to add
resource.
1. Yeah, under resource, just make a madness slot and put it 1.
Yeah, I just have 1.
That works. And go ahead and roll me a D100, if you will, please. I didn't realize somebody failed. I'm so used to guys just flying, passing with flying colors.
47.
47, madness. Short term, 47. Reeling from this vision of having witnessed the bride and her bridesmaids in this awful tower and feeling the dread settle in, Badrock begins babbling and is incapable of normal speech or spellcasting for the next little while. As something pervades your mind for the next 2 minutes, you just like have a hard time speaking. So that's gonna be fun.
Dang.
God damn. As I was saying, as you guys make your way up ahead, you have no clear reference to judge the towering mushroom size at this distance. Thousands of smaller fungi cling to the main stalk, which itself splits into several lesser stalks, each long enough with a big cap, big enough to be the top of some great tower. The cavern floor surrounding the stalk is covered by a carpet of fungi. An eerie luminescence pours through slitted windows carved into the trunk of this great mushroom, with the same cacophony of atonal music heard earlier echoing within. And there's a stench of rot and decay that wraps around you, seemingly threatening to penetrate your flesh and pervade your soul. You guys climb on upwards. There's a 20-foot high crescent-shaped ledge that hugs the cavern wall and gradually slopes down to the lower basin. As you enter this carpeted area of moss and fungus, you can see scores of variously sized lumps and pockmarked spots where pools of like this vile fluid suppurate and ooze, some drying out and scabbing over. And as you look onto these lumps, egg-shaped spheres in the ground, you see that within them are translucent silhouettes of mostly humanoids, though a few of the lamps are occupied by what appear to be Grix, Nothics, or like giant spiders. This is the great garden of Fraught, nourished by the creatures subsumed within it and the phase drifts pervading this cavern. Once again, we enter a sort of a theater or domain here as you guys proceed onwards. As if on cue, one of the lumps nearby bubbles up and bursts. A dense cloud of spores and dark, reeking fluid explodes outwards. You hear a piercing scream of agony and terror from within this bursting pustule egg. Inside the pockmark left behind the burst is one of Xinya's drow scouts, or at least what's left of him. One other than a face, long white hair, and a breastplate, it's impossible to sort of distinguish where the drow ends and the rot and fungi consuming him begin. The drow feebly thrashes, his screams rising ever higher in a pitch, until he locks eyes with one of you and abruptly stops screaming, and in that brief moment of lucidity that replaces his terror, even as his eyes roll back into his head in some kind of bizarre euphoria as he goes limp and slowly sinks back down into the fungal muck. You wanted to push on forward. I'll ask everybody to make me an out the DC 13 wisdom saving throw, please, against madness.
Gizmo's gonna step forward and plug that thing with his crossbow as well.
It shudders once, twitching, apparently still alive, and then dies. Bolt in its head.
DC wisdom save still, right?
Wisdoms, yes.
One madness, right?
Yes. Level 1 madness grants you short-term madness. Level 2 will grant you a more long-term effect. And if you ever hit 3, it's indefinite madness stacking. So that dams the horror of the Underdark and whatever terror you're approaching. With that being said, did anybody fail the rule?
I failed.
Yeah, 2.
You're at 2. Can get whoever failed to roll me a D100, please.
75.
75, and you're level 1?
2.
2? Witnessing the terror of the twitching body before you, you two begin to uncontrollably tick as tremors take over your hands and knees, imposing disadvantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws that invoke strength or dexterity. Upon Isabel, this effect will last. I'll let you roll this. 1d10 times 10 hours.
6 hours.
60.
60? Oh, fuck.
This
Okay,
will,
3
yeah.
days.
So, again, your guys are pushing the edge of your minds, and as madness begins to creep in, whatever you're pushing to is strong in that way. A force of chaos do you wish to push on through?
Yeah, we got to get to the heart of this.
Or sure.
Real quick.
Okay, yeah.
How long does that babbling last for me? How long did you say?
I rolled what?
2 minutes, I think.
2
Just
minutes.
2 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we're through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You first, and then
That's
me.
it. No, that's it.
Cool. Unless you guys have some way of curing madness, for the next 2 minutes, Bo, hit someone.
Anyone?
The character must use his or her action each round to attack the nearest creature.
I think I have disadvantage on this, so right, because it's an attack roll. Is this just like an unarmed attack,
Up
or
to you, I'll
should I
leave it up
attack-
to you. This is just a funny moment here.
I think that punching someone would be a lot funnier because I'm probably going to be flailing at them, so that's going to be a 4. Who's closest to me?
Your choice.
It's theater of mind.
Yeah, your
so,
choice.
Yeah.
Is
It's like the dirge. You have like a awful thought taking over your mind for a moment
yeah,
there.
is Uranus next to me?
Sure. Sure.
I'll just try to like windmill and slap him. He's like, she's fucking dead. Just leave her alone. It's disgusting.
Not you two. He just thinks that you're overtaken by the same spores that took his sister, and gets his blade out, unsheathing it. Not blade, but the mace out. You can see there's a lot of you. Him brandishing his weapon, about to strike. You guys get the actions as well in this. I'll hit back.
Bye. Settle down, you two.
Okay, all right.
She's creeping in. That's what she
bad.
wants.
I don't know what came over me. I apologize.
Cool. You have another 2 minutes of this, so go ahead and strike past, right?
You're
don't know
you're
what came over.
apologizing and I'm trying
start,
to
like-
hit Vass on the nose.
We just start cat fighting. We're just like, just waving her
disadvantage. I still crit.
limp wrist. Wow.
What's my strength score on this dude?
I mean, unless you're a monk, you'll hit the damage, right? Because unarmed strikes hit for 1 damage.
Yeah, I may have a -1 strength, so this is probably gonna be laughable to you. Like, I'm probably gonna end up hurting myself more than you. I do it with like a bent wrist and just kind of like flail at you a little bit.
Just sucker punches you for 2 damage.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say at this point, unless anybody wants to take limelight, I'll give you a chance.
He's kind of fighting him off, and just because he's a lot taller than me and everything, I can only just like kind of put my guard up. I can't like do much.
Just
Clank,
pummeling
Clank,
you
hold
down.
him.
Yeah.
Get a hold of him, Clank. Get a hold of him. I'll have Clank grapple him.
Right, as you're trying to guard yourself and Clank is clamping down on this creature and a lot of you restrain him, you see Eric step ahead with Dawnbringer, and almost like Dawnbringer is pushing his hand forward, she lurches toward Self, and in a moment of horror, you realize that Eric might just strike down Self, decapitating him spot, but the blade stops just short of his brow, and there's a glint of like holy radiant light that pulses as the sword casts restoration.
Oh yeah, that's right. He doesn't use it.
Dawnbringer has restoration. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to think things to happen for 2 rounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can feel her creeping in the back of my mind. I can tell we're getting closer. And he's starting to get, overcoming his stuff. He's just kind of still babbling and rattling off a couple things. I don't know how much more I can take of this. How much deeper we gotta go. She's at the end. We gotta end this. And he's just going on, just saying,
Mumbling
the
Mundus.
Demogorgon's here. Yeah, and just if she's here, then what next? And the Drow or the Drow are behind, and it looks like they're looking for you guys, and just kind of all that stuff.
Isabel's tremors continue as throughout the entire cavern, loud moans and cries of agony answer the Drow's screams as the arrow bolt has found its head. They answer the death cry in a terrifying and deafening chorus, drowning out all other sounds until eventually winding down with a low susurration of groans and burbles, as the entire stalk of the giant mushroom seems to shudder almost in delight at this.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if we decide to press on and everything, I was going to ask Shushar, because wherever we're going, it's getting a lot more chaotic and everything. If you got anything left in you, I'll take for any help I can get right now. And he's just seeing if you could cast Bless at all to maybe help people out with their rolls if we had to keep pushing.
Sure does not have Bless.
Oh, I thought he did. Okay.
No, sorry.
That's fine.
He's very much less a fighter, but he has a staff that is capable of guidance, thaumaturgy, detect magic, sanctuary, shield of faith, calm emotions, which, let me look it up, it helps with madness actually. Oops, I posted it twice.
It kills the effect for...
It suppresses up to a minute, so it won't be long-term help. It will probably help in combat. He saves up that charge for when trauma.
I didn't know what he had.
He also has a hold person. If there's a body of water nearby, he can sort of lace water around a person to just hold him, or summon arcanic water from the weave, what have you, to sort of tendril somebody in place. So he has those.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I'll paste that in chat so you know. But yeah. Otherwise, he's not much of a fighter, he's more like a support. But you guys push off through to the lower basin, past the sledge. We're gonna have Badrak here, Isabel. I'm assuming you guys left your spider mounts behind, right?
Yeah, we didn't bring them.
Yeah. Atlas Songbird with you, Gizmo, Clank, Self, along with your remaining companions. Imagine if I had to roll madness for each of them. I should, but honestly, that's way too much. R.I.P. Glabagool will never suffer madness. And Ginger Shushar. As you guys follow the procession down the basin, you see scores of deformed creatures dance around the base of the giant fungal tower. The revelers are a motley collection of humanoids and various other creatures, all sporting tumors, cankers, and a putrid series of patches of flesh all over their bodies. They are joined by dancing fungi, vaguely shaped and twisted into forms resembling humanoids. All enthralled by the song of whatever creature lies within this mushroom head.
Oh, what kind of really matters? Like what kind of song is it?
It's discordant, without a chord or melody, like sirens wailing, like banshees, almost.
Okay.
eerie under ears.
That's gonna be right where it's taking place. This just reminds me kind of like of something else. Like there's a big old blossom that someone's gonna shoot out of here up top.
Tom, I wanted to ask. They say like the wedding is Sigtomi and Arimachus. This guy.
Aramicus, yeah. What about him?
Yeah. Does it rings any bell?
Roll me either nature or history.
I'm going for history.
Heck, even Arcana will do here.
Oh, even better. Arcana. 23.
You have read this name before in one book or another from the surface. You know it's an entity of the Underdark, but you can't recall which, and all you can seem to recall at the tip of your tongue, but just can't touch that core thought, is it's something to do with the High Forest. The High Forest being a giant, forest on the surface, home of certain high elf tribes and other wild things. And you just remember reading something about Aramicus. Within this forest, there's something to do with it.
Okay.
But as far as you can recall, with the DC being 25.
Okay.
The Great Body, Aramicus.
Great body. Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
want to
say,
see if she's in there.
yeah.
If you have anything else to add, go for it.
No. I was just gonna say anybody else can also, at least one more person can help trying to recall that if you are proficient with Arcana, Nature, or History. Just don't dog pile on it, just up to 2 people.
No.
But at least he's pretty high. It's because you guys are not beings off the Underdark, so.
Alright, so Arcana, history, or whatever. What was the other?
History, Arcana, or Nature.
No, let's do nature this time.
Still reeling from the madness that is almost radiating from this core. It's like approaching the nuclear core of you taking bomb. You can hear voices cackling and chatting amicably about Sovereign Philo's success at bringing so many new guests to attend the party. You see Drow dancing as if their bones were melting, Dwagar roaring with mock merriment and vomiting slime, and even Nothix laughing madly as they leap and caper about. And as you continue observing this, making your way around the humongous mushroom, you see, remember that elf you shot in the head from that pockmarked spot in the back? You can see its body drag itself by both hands and these tendrils growing out of its back. The head limp on the ground, dragging with the arrow still sticking out of it, but it's joining the dance, just the body animated by some spores writhing within it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Do you guys want to see what's inside the mushroom?
I want to go all the way around.
Push
and,
on.
Check on.
Character who witnesses the text moment must succeed on DC 15 saving throws, and it's only gonna get worse from here.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get the indefinite one.
Yeah.
Let's do this shit. Phew, fitting. Not one.
Oof.
This map I will use for combat. You guys proceed onwards. I'll just use this for theater of mind if you don't mind, because otherwise it makes my roll 20 lag.
Wisdom.
1? Jesus.
Not one.
Roll me a D100 unless you have some other way of. Do you have inspiration or anything of to give you advantage?
I'll give Isabel my inspiration.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. You're beautiful.
We're all rolling this, right? It's
Yeah, everybody's rolling a DC 15 wisdom saving throw as you push on.
I wasted it on you.
Gosh.
I know.
Roll me a D100.
You know, I will give Baz my inspiration.
All right, you go. Don't tell me no.
54 of indefinite, eh? Hey, Ben, it's powerful roleplay.
I did
so, Okay, so I'll give you a choice. I'll whisper to you. If you don't like it, just like whisper me back, give me another or something, and I'll give you another, okay? This is what I have for your number, but if you don't like it, because it's not good for roleplay, I'll give you another one.
Yeah, sounds good.
Is it? Okay.
I mean, if you have something
Make it
cooler,
make sense
yeah,
with what inflicted the madness upon you, connect it somehow, and then make that be like the scar of the impact, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You hear a voice in your mind, feminine. You're not even dressed for the party. You shouldn't be here. It's weird, but it does
I
what it
just
is.
couldn't help it. Wanted to see what was happening behind closed doors.
Uh-huh. Anybody else rolled below 15? 84 for long term for Bo, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's gonna be. By the way, Indefinite Madness just lasts until it's cured, Ivan, eh?
Yeah.
As for our friend here, our psionic friend, who is already kind of loony, for the next 30 hours, you rolled an 84. I hate this. These are not fun. You know what? I'm gonna look something up real quick. Give me 2 seconds. I did prepare for this. I was like, if I don't like these long-term medicines, I have specific ones to Zukunmoi, so to speak. Because the ones in DMG kind of suck from a roleplay perspective. It's like, oh, forget everything you know, sort of thing, you know?
You just stare.
Yeah, it's like, that's not fun.
Forget everything.
You are
I love that.
uncharactered. Yeah. Visit site. 84. Oh, that's the wrong demon lord. I apologize for the slight delay, guys. Oh, easy. Okay, so I'll whisper this to you, Self, and you can enact this however you wish. This becomes a new flaw on your sheet. It's much better than you forget whatever you are forever. And
That already happened. That's like my
Yeah.
character's backstories.
For the second time.
yeah, because I rolled like amnesia, and I'm like, that sucks. Isabel, what did you roll? Because I have a second one for that's to do with this place. If you're curious.
Sure,
50.
let's do it. 54.
That's a funny one. If you want, you can have this one. Isabel, whisper. You decide which one you want. I just find these are funnier.
Oof!
Right? Alright. So as you guys are processing that, as Madness settles in, I think that's everybody else saved, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So moving it all right along, you leave the Twisted Beauty of the Garden of Welcome behind you and approach the giant mushroom. The serene glow of Neverlight Grove's fungi fades to something far more sinister. Beyond the garden, your eyes are drawn to the faint glow of sickly green and violet light that pulsates ahead, and with every step, a low, reverberating hum echoes, vibrating in your very bones. The fungal terrain beneath your feet becomes denser, more alien, with patches of rotting matter sprouting from the decomposing soil, and the air is saturated with the spores that cling to your skin, leaving behind a faint, itchy sensation. Ahead, looming like a massive, grotesque titan, the great mushroom, Yigmorgus, as you heard the Myconians call it, comes into view, its shadowy form towering impossibly high into the cavern ceiling. strange lights flicker from its stalk. Occasionally, a haunting wail can be heard on the wind. For those sensitive to the weave or of magic or like spiritual presence, there's an undeniable sinister pull here, an energy that feels far older and darker than anything in the grove so far, making the very land sick. Some shambling migrants nearby whisper in low, reverent tones about the lady's palace, or the weddings soon to come. The fungal thralls speak of it as if this place, this sacred place, is one of unity, a paradise where the great cedar will soon celebrate her union with the great body, Zuktmoy and Ararmicus. Daring to enter this place, despite the madness, your curiosity taking the better of you, you step into the colossal hollow of Yukmogus. The air changes immediately, becoming thick and with moisture and the pungent scent of decay. Your boots sink into the spongy fungal floor, each step making a faint squelching sound as you're pressed deeper into the lair. The immense hollowed stalk of the Titan mushroom towers above, spiraling upwards into unseen heights, casting the chamber in a dark, shadowy haze, punctuated by pulsing bioluminescent patches of fungus. The light within is sickly green and purple, casting everything in surreal, otherworldly glow. And there, at the chamber's heart, floats a magnificent and terrifying creature, surrounded by spiraling balconies where her growing numbers of bridesmaids attend her, singing as they weave her bridal gown to prepare for her fateful wedding. You stand before Zuktmoy, the demon queen of fungi herself. She is a towering, grotesque figure, her body an amalgamation of humanoid and fungal form. Her lower half seems to meld with her wedding gown, growing and twisting like the root of some eldritch tree. Massive, petal-like fungal fronds sprout from her back and shoulders, unfurling with slow, alien grace. Her skin, if it can be called that, is the texture of rotting wood, soft, pulpy flesh covering in patches of mold and toxically vibrant mushrooms, as spore clouds swirl lazily around her, drifting in hypnotic patterns. And she does not move. Her deep-set eyes are closed, as though she is lost in some deep trance-like meditation. Her gown is woven from delicate strands of glistening fungus fibers draped in swathes of bioluminescent growths that pulsate with an eerie rhythm, synchronized with her own breathing. You count 12 bridesmaids, twisted fungal creatures that vaguely resemble humanoid women, as they flit about her, tending to her gown and veil. These creatures are utterly disturbing, their bodies deformed and rotting, faces blank and eyes empty, yet they move with a sense of eerie purpose as they weave and prepare Zuktmoy for her supposed wedding day. The chamber is filled with a strange, unsettling melody, a droning hum of voices in an alien tongue that echoes off the cavernous walls. Those of you who know Abyssal recognize some of the words. A wedding tune. It comes from the bridesmaids, who chant softly as they work, their thin voices weaving together in this dissonant harmony. And as you stand there, frozen in the overwhelming presence of the Demon Queen, the bridesmaids suddenly take notice of you. They're chanting halts abruptly, and they whirl towards you, their hollow eyes wide in shock and outrage. "You shouldn't be here," one of them wails, her voice high and grating like nails on stone. "It is forbidden to see the bride before her wedding." Another bridesmaid steps forward, her rotting hand reaching out as if to push you away. "You are unworthy to gaze upon her divinity." The others join, their twisting faces contorting in fury, their voices growing louder as they scold and berate you for your intrusion. "Go! Leave the sacred place! It is not yet time for her union." As their screeching becomes a maddening chorus echoing off the walls and filling your minds With disorienting sounds, what do you do?
There's never gonna be a time. Hey, you chose the wrong place to come up here. Out of all the places you could have gone, out of all the worlds around, you chose this place. And he's just pointing down, like, you know, here in the Underdark. This is where you had to come. They normally say, you know, does anyone object? Hey, right here. Don't think this is really going to be going through. But wanted to get a sneak peek. Oops.
Despite the cacophony, oops. The most echoing oops of your life. Despite the cacophony of the bridesmaids, Sukmo herself remains still, her towering form unmoving, though you can still feel a strange pressure near, as if her very presence weighs down upon your souls. You can sense her consciousness, vast, alien, brushing against your minds yet again. Though her eyes remain closed, you know that she is aware of your intrusion here. And then, yeah.
Okay.
No, go for it.
To the bridesmaids, I'll ask if they have seen Arimicus, where we can find him, to congratulate him.
They speak of Arimicus, the great body, the greatest of bodies in the Underdark. To soon see his bride. You've learned that this great body is in the Underdark, but they still remain adamant in their wailing for you to get out of this place. That's sort of their sole focus. And then her voice enters your minds. Not spoken aloud, but a telepathic whisper, cold and ancient, creeping into your thoughts like the slow spread of rot. You, who disturb my sacred preparations. There is no emotion in her voice, slow and deliberate, only the hollow, indifferent tone of something far beyond mortal comprehension. Why do you come here unbidden? She doesn't move, still deep in her meditation, but you can feel her presence growing, filling the room with an overwhelming sense of dread.
I'm looking around to see if anyone's gonna say anything. If not, I'm just gonna keep firing off my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, Philo informed us of the event. One of your servants invited us to assist. I refer to the worm. That's what we're trying to do, to assist to the rehearsal and see what is this wedding.
The spore clouds thickening around her pulse and glow as her bioluminescent veils have spread open and flicker. Her mind touches yours again, colder and more forceful this time, like tendrils of froth creeping into the corners of your thoughts. Leave. Her voice echoes in your mind, slow and commanding, like the weight of ages pressing down on you. It is not yet time for you to bear witness to my union. You get a sensation here. If you do not heed her words, a wave of spores begins to fill the air, shimmering in this sickly green light that permeates the chamber. And though her eyes remain closed, her power stirs as she releases these mind control spores. If you will not heed her words, she will force you. You dare challenge it.
Hell yeah, I challenge it.
Sounds good.
I didn't come all this way for just to be turned around and then be like, oh, we'll just come back tomorrow. Fuck no.
Mm-hmm.
I give some setbacks. I don't want to be killed.
Yeah, no problem, man. So as she releases her spores, bursting out, they begin to swirl around Bajrak, a dazing haze of alien thought and compulsion. You feel the weight of her will, all of you, like an overwhelming desire to leave, pulling the edges of your minds. Every fiber of your being screams to obey, to retreat from her presence, to get away from this place before it consumes you whole. Everybody in the party, please roll me a DC 19 Wisdom saving throw.
Oh my god, this is how I die. 18.
Bergerac.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm defiant.
Chutzpah. So while everybody but Bergerac remains charmed by Zuktmoy, as you feel your mind and body be compelled to leave this place, heed her word and leave. Bergerac resists the mind control spores. And as you do, resist and steel yourself to stand your ground. The spores around Zuktmoy darken, becoming dense and threatening. The bridesmaids stop their frantic scolding and instead fall into a hushed, reverent silence, watching in anticipation as their queen stirs. Zuktmoy slowly shifts, her glowing violet eyes open, burning with cold, malevolent light. Her fungal fronds sway as she lifts her head, her gaze locking onto Bergerac. A low, resonating sound reverberates throughout the chamber, a sound that feels like the groaning of ancient trees as they crack and fall. Zuktmoy is awake, and she's not pleased. With a slow, deliberate gesture, she releases a cloud of infestation spores, her vast decaying mind seething with fury at the thought of intruders daring to stand in her presence. The spores swarm towards you, carrying with them a sense of crawling decay, as though your flesh itself is beginning to rot from the inside. At the same time, you hear a distant rumbling echoing throughout the walls of Yigmorgus, as from the far reaches of the Hollow, dozens of spore serpents and myconids respond to her telepathic call. They begin to emerge from the shadows, staggering towards you, their forms twisting and grotesque, puppets driven by the will of Zuktmoy. Their movements are slow but relentless, their eyes vacant, filled with only one purpose: to serve their queen. And they close in, heedless of danger, their spores infested bodies intending to overwhelm you. The bridesmaids, they move aside, joining in the advancing tide, their twisting bodies swaying as they begin to chant once again, their eerie, discordant song rising in volume. Do you stand, or do you flee this place, leaving Neverlight Grove to its fate? I ask the entire party.
Well,
I wanna leave
Roka's
the-
already been charmed into leaving, right? So
Unfortunately, charmed creature, with this called it's you're simply charmed by her, which will affect you should you engage her in combat. So the choice is still yours. She commands you to flee, and every item in your body tells you to. But the choice is still yours. You just can't harm this creature because you're charmed by it.
No, I don't charm. I think, like, let's go to the Neverlight and tell Bastilla to leave if she can. If that's an option. If not, we flee for our life and leave our spiders.
I'm just giving everybody a choice here.
Yeah.
Oh, we come all this far, through all that, just to turn around with our tails between our legs. To leave these.
I still have a tail.
But
We
she...
will not survive this.
Yeah, it
And
will
no
be a
one
shame
will
to
know
ruin
that
her
we
wedding.
sacrificed ourselves.
Not with that attitude, we won't, but I think we can pull this off. I really want a piece of her dress. Do you see it?
We need to wait for her wedding. I really want to witness it.
Oh, yes, wait until her guard is down.
I just want to know if I'm
Yeah,
putting
but-
tokens down on the battle map or not.
No, man, I don't want to roll a new character. I don't have anything planned.
Buzz is gonna put his hand up. Fine. Fine.
You hear one bridesmaid whisper, "Pussy."
He like points over. He's like, "I'll see you first." I'm gonna
Who say
remember-
that?
I'm gonna look at any distinguishing figures about that one that's different from the others. and I will remember it. Fine. Your day will come. Your big day. We'll be there. I'll be waiting.
You
And
dare
then,
threaten your queen. Eyes open, they flash, and those forces around you just sort of... The cloud becomes denser around Bajarak, and it's as if the sport himself forced themselves into your throat. It takes every muscle in your body to not let them in. Can you roll me a DC 19 Constitution saving throw?
Oh my god.
Around your
Ooh,
mouth.
Are these the spores that he's immune to from the first battle?
Is he immune to disease?
not disease, but just
Then-
poison.
Or
then
these
no.
Particular infestation spores, I thought that said he was if you succeed, you're immune for 24 hours or something like that.
Oh my god. He's fucking right.
In your face, woman. Oh
Which-
my god. It was nice
which
meeting
would
you,
mean
Buzz.
Isabel too, right? Because Isabel, I think, succeeded that as well.
Isabel, mind control spores are different from infestation spores. I only use infestation spores. This is a very powerful attack against Bajarak, who's running his mouth.
Okay.
But yes, since he survived the first time, he is in fact corona immune to them for 24 hours. So that rule plays out.
All right, 24 hours, baby. Let's go.
Try again tomorrow.
I'm just literally just asserting my dominance, like just hardcore Dwagar, just being like big dick energy.
I'm gonna start swinging, man. If you don't leave.
I'm just gonna turn out and I'm just gonna turn.
Yeah,
and leave.
yeah. You just give her like a one last fuck you before leaving.
Yeah. Just flex. He's like, do it.
She like
But I'm
lifts her like hand lazily to like snap a command for all of them to stand up on you guys. But just as she's about to snap, you just like, I'll see you later. Shot him.
She's
So-
my toots.
Yeah. Now wishing to ruin her own wedding, she encapsulates herself back into her like little fungal cocoon, closing her eyes in her deep meditation. And if the party consents, again, because the choice is yours. If you want to take a swing at Zuckmoy, I won't stop you. But if the party consents, can move us along to have you guys report what you've witnessed.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Nick is like,
Can I
urge not to fire gun.
My fingers on the trigger.
My blicky. All right.
My
fair enough.
blicky. So complete.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Fair enough. The journey out of the grove feels surreal, almost too easily given the horrors you've witnessed. In the hours that it takes you to, get back, report, I'll just expedite this a little bit. If any of you would approach Sovereign Philo or just look at him from distance, you can tell that he remains blissfully unaware, or perhaps uncaring, of the true danger that looms still in the delusional ecstasy promised by Zuckmoy. Even as you make your way through the fungal gardens and bioluminescent terraces, none of Philo's followers seek to halt your departure. And you're rejoined with Sovereign Basidia, and those few Magnates who remain free from the Demon Queen's influence. You want to take it?
And we are comparing. We are carrying out the transformed and deceased elven.
Oh yes.
Yes. Would you like me to help you carry your sister, Baroness?
Hear
That's
him
gotta be heavy on her
nods
physical
silently in agreement. Yeah.
life. Okay, yeah. And I'll begin to carry her, and I kind of sniff some of the mushrooms a little bit. Exquisite. Yes.
He's too numb and grieved to react to you nibbling on what is probably still part of her body.
Not in my mouth, not in public or anything like that. I'm just inhaling it, like I'm sniffing a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I'm uncomfy. Sovereign Basidia and those few Muckins who remain free from the Demon Queen's influence offer you their silent support, accompanying you to the edge of the grove where you may decide what you wish to do going forward. We can just be like, we report back to them, and I can carry forward with that, or you guys can roleplay it. I'm just giving you guys space to play along as well. Thoughts? Did I disconnect? Is my internet down? My internet's down. We'll be right back. Ooh. So I thought about it in the silence. Sorry, am I interrupting something, by the way?
No.
Nope.
I thought about it in silence, and he rolled 23 for his check, and I'm like, I'm not giving him load information, and then I thought about, like, why am I not giving Ivan this information? It's not like spoilers, it's literally in the campaign, and his character would know of things, even though he's now of the Underdark. So I'm gonna, like, retrospectively answer something, explain something. So while it seems that Zuthmoy is here in the Underdark, which is, boom, big revelation, surely none of you saw it coming, surely. She was drawn to this place and its fungal riches. Cultivated Yugmogus, this giant mushroom of titanic proportions, right? As is very much to her character, for those of you who know Zuthmoy from your studies of the abyssal and such, and has established her domain in this rotting soil. As for Aromicus, it is known as the largest fungal life form, and possibly the largest creature of any kind in the world. Aromicus is like this vast fungus colony, right? With a single mind, with which fills the caverns and tunnels of the Underdark in an area that is beneath and is the entire size of the High Forest. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then it is a much studied object, which is why I was like, I'm not gonna, 23. You know about this thing. Aromicus is such a heavily studied object, and is so interwoven with the fabric of the world that your character will probably think, like, imagine if she controls it. If she gets control of it, it will grant Zuthmoy like nearly unlimited power in her new home here. Because the High Force is humongous. So only imagine her own little pocket domain here. So I'll give you that one at 23. I think that's much more fair. Otherwise, I am gonna go ahead and start streaming music again, and we'll pick up from where I got disconnected. I don't remember what was the last thing I said before I got disconnected.
It was something along the lines that we were seeing Philo, and Philo looked like happy, not knowing,
blissfully unaware of the horrors, unaware or unconcerned, really.
Yeah.
Because they're all puppets, Zuthmoy's puppets. Of course they are. But if you wish to, seek the guidance of your allies, reunite back with them, with Basidia, she will find you near the Circle of Explorers, near their leader. And Sovereign Basidia and those few Machinates who remain free from the Demon Queen's influence would offer you their self-support. If you wish to be accompanied to the edge of the grove and speak, you may. We can say you just report back, or I can give it into your hands to roleplay out. Take it away, if you will.
Well, we certainly need to report, but I think the first thing Gizmo wants to do is draw attention to our fallen comrade and see if there's some assistance she can grant us, and we will fill her in on the details.
Much to her brother's horror, the only assistance these Magnoids can do is to return her to the earth, to the natural cycle of it. They do not possess the divine clerical power to return somebody from the dead in the same sense that you would want. She can serve the grove or wherever they're going to go as a spore servant, or be returned to fertilize the life in the earth. But there are no diamond clerics of necromancy.
Well, Uranus, it's up to you. I mean, what do you think?
He thinks he would do with his sister's body the same as you would do with any of your fallen allies. Trying to find a way to bring her back. If not here, elsewhere.
Alright, but you don't want to just watch the big mushroom decompose the body just a little bit? I mean, you have to be interested at least, right?
Takes ever restraint.
Don't talk to him like that.
His eyes twitching. It takes every bit of restraint from him not to punch you in the face.
Oh, come on. You believe in reincarnation, don't you? I mean, at least this way, you know, it will decay and go back into the earth, and, you know, the mushroom will sprout and the mycelia will spread.
He just looks down to Gizmo. Get your boy.
All right. Go ahead, take the body. Help you carry it from time to time.
Well, I guess that's what we got the studios for, but might be a little bit of a slowdown.
He turns to the rest of you a little bit accusative. Is that what you would do, then? If I were to fall in a similar way, you would just leave me here to rot in this place, in these dark, godless caverns. Away from
Well, I'm not exactly dragging behind me an entire graveyard now. It's as good as any.
Granted, no, we would never do that. But to be fair, she was already rotting before she was dead, so...
He draws his weapon.
Shit.
Whoa, I meant that as a compliment.
No, you know what? This is an awakening call. I realized it way too late. I should have listened to you when you first spoke of it. But I was a fool. This is an awakening call. Should have never came here. We were fine on our own for weeks on end. We were fine on our own in small numbers in the shadows. We just had to be drawn toward strange lights like moths to the flame. This won't do. I will find a way to bring her back. And if you're not with me on this, then I will go about this alone. And this is where we part ways.
No, I'm with you. We should bring her back. If it's possible.
We're all on the same page going to the surface, but body's got a time limit on it. There's points of no return, as far as I know.
There's always a way, but not here. We need to move on, out of this place. And quick. Witnessing what we have witnessed, this is no safe place anymore.
You're in the Underdark, mate. Nowhere's a safe place.
Yeah, but compared to like a demon queen.
Sure, you know what I mean. You gotta split hairs.
Well,
He lost his sister, man.
it's informed Batista, Gator Spiders on starting incursion.
Basidia. Batista is the
Basidia.
wrestler. Yeah, with split
Also
hairs. You start naming wrestlers up in my session.
Like, I have madness. Okay.
Basidia just fucking sumo slams you down the court. Should you report back your sightings? Yes.
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 Their spores convey gratitude and mixed with deep sorrow, for they know that what their kin are becoming, yet are powerless to stop it. Some among the cycle speak of fleeing soon themselves, perhaps even following you deeper into the Underdark to escape the madness that grips their home. And with their aid, paths shall open to you. Paths you once struggled with to find will lay open before you, guided as you are by Basidia's followers. The air becomes less thick with spores the further you go to the edge of the grove, and the ever-present hum of the grove's meld begins to fade, though not without leaving an eerie echo in your minds. Still, I won't imagine you'll be able to shake away what you have witnessed. The Titanic Igmorgus, the spiraling fungal stalks housing the mad preparations for Zuckmoy's twisted wedding, the bridesmaids weaving her gown, the demon queen herself looming over all, content in her malignant meditation. Such madness will linger with you for days to come. Are you prepared to leave?
Are we gonna bring Stool with us, or are we just leaving them here? Or I think we should bring them with.
Yeah, I think he doesn't have an option, according to the big guy.
Why won't he like die in your sunlight or whatever?
We
Get to
have
the
many
top.
miles to go before we reach the surface. If we leave now and encourage Basidia and her followers to leave now, then the demon will have only half as many at its command. I think it would be wise to depart as soon as we can.
Basidia and her
So we should
ilk.
bring all-
You first.
Yes, and we should bring all the mushroom folk with us, all of them, as many as possible.
Basidia and her ilk are with you. They intend to depart as soon as possible, learning what they have learned. This will not spare the Underdark of Zuckmoy's spreading. You will only delay the inevitable, and it's only a matter of time before she grows her army with a circle of spores under her to spread her spores forth. The surface must know of this. An army must be gathered. Survivors must flee this place. So she's very much with you. It is very much with you. As a sovereign, will take those loyal to her, the circle of hunters, and the other circle of explorers, sticking with you if you would allow them to, and they will try and seek a different sanctuary away from this place. Hide away for the time being.
We allowed them to come with us.
As for Stool and wrap it up, that's up to you guys. There's no place on the surface for Myconids. They will wither away and die, but you leave them here in this place, you take him with you, is your choice.
I mean, we can let them decide if they want to stay with their kind with Basidia, if they're gonna go, you know.
Right.
It's
So,
a puppet now.
We can keep Stool Doc at least. It's very little. We can take him with us. We can put him in that spider backpack.
I'll not keep him against his will. He must make up his own mind, but he is welcome to accompany us. I'm sure Basidia and her followers would welcome him among their kind as well.
you would surely not leave him here to a much worse fate than the Circle can offer.
Absolutely not. But Jimjar,
You can stay.
the place you are from, would they perhaps have healing powers that could possibly restore the elf girl?
For the first time, Jimjar is quite solemn, but does not resist. I'm willing to hedge a bet. They can.
Do you know the way to Blingdenstone from here? Basidia, could we go in that direction?
Well, Guncho, once we're out of these wilds and back in the tunnels, I think I can find a way around, especially with Ilsa's maps that have been proven quite as useful. And I had a word with the Circle of Explorers. A few of their kind know the surroundings and can lead us to more familiar tunnels for sure.
And perhaps that is our next destination. If we could get there in some timely manner. I don't know if there is a way, Basidia,
Well,
for you to preserve her body while we travel? To prevent her decay?
the Sovereign is
Or
not a
further decay.
cleric in that regard, does not have something like gentle repose, unfortunately.
Okay.
They actually do the opposite. Myconid kinds expedite decay.
Yeah, that's what I figured, but I figured if she could do one way, maybe she could do the other. So
Unfortunately, you'd have to be traveling with a body, keep it away from your foodstuff, but you know, it's a corpse to be carried. Or, you know, whatever you choose to do with it. The choice is always with parties. But in terms of Rumpeldup and Stool, if you leave it up to them or the Mike and the Sovereign, then of course you wouldn't leave him here in Neverlight Grove. So the choice is there. They shall tag along with you. As for timely matter of getting to Blingstone, sort of rifling through the maps, Jimjar would inform you that from this location to Blingstone, it will take about 16 days to travel if you maintain steady pace.
perhaps we need to stock up on whatever foodstuffs that we can bring with us here.
Whatever's edible, whatever water we can find.
You're okay with
Thank you, what we can
eating nothing but fungal matter for days on end, and Basidia can arrange for that.
Delicious.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
And whatever you salivating at the mouth.
And if we get any opportunity to forage past a stream or whatnot, perhaps we'll get lucky on our way.
Aye, but 16 days. That's a lot. That's a lot out there in the wilds. I'm sure our luck is gonna be pushing herself. Is there... I don't know, I'm trying to think what I was trying to go with. 16 days. Is it possible to, like, hurry those days, but, like, possibly taking a more, quote-unquote, treacherous path?
Yeah, it's called fast pace. You forego successful foraging, you forego stealth, and you suffer a penalty to your perception because you're in a hurry, but you expedite your journey.
Yeah. Well, then maybe that's it. Maybe we expedite ourselves a few days.
Well, we'll be traveling in a very large group with all of these myconoids with
Still
us.
possible. You'll be cutting like maybe with the various shortcuts the Circle of Explorers knows that are more perilous, but will cut time. You'll be able to make it 12 days instead.
I guess we'll see what happens on the road.
Yeah, this will involve
First
like
couple
camping in
days.
more open areas, just taking a risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to see like what happens during that day and then adjust.
I think that we should ask the explorers, like if we have some of them with us, what they think would be best. I mean, this is their gig, you know.
Yeah. And Gizmo's thinking how rude it might be to push this whole big group and push Aranis, but I don't know, if it takes us 16 days, we might not have much of a body to work with when we get there.
That's not going to stop him.
Yeah. The sooner we can find someone to help us with this wedding, it will be better. So I agree with Paz. 12 days should be the pace.
His people, the Moon Elves, religious and pious as they are, have worked with far less to restore bodies back to their full forms.
Okay.
She
Yeah,
will
that's
not
what
be
I was gonna say.
left here, yeah.
He's novelty, right? Like he has coin, he has resource. You just need to take her there.
So while we're preparing to leave, Gizmo is going to help Aranis kind of like, I don't know, wrap her up, maybe clean her off a little bit, kind of
Cremator.
help. Just kinda attend
There's a word
to
for
her.
that, yeah. Yeah, okay. Like make her tidy.
Yeah.
Mummify her in the ways of the elves, just wrap cloth around her so she's not, exposed to the elements.
And
You'll remember
offer
that.
to have Clank carry whenever he's tired or whenever he would like.
Sure. That and your mounts will serve as aids in that affair as you make your way ready. I'm just... Anybody who wants to do anything else?
Not really. Just...
No, not as far as much as the grove right now.
Okay. As a reward for helping Basidia while you were here, she gives you 2 greater healing potions. So whoever wants to can add that to their inventory and keep them on themselves. They're stored within these like gourds made from like mushroom stalks that have been hollowed out and are stoppered with like upside down mushroom caps, tied down with some moss and such, and it's just nice and sealed. And the inside is a viscous mix of healing juice. Greater healing potion 2.
All right, let's divvy those out so we don't get lost on a list somewhere.
The sauce.
Yeah.
I didn't see our list anymore either in Discord. Is that channel gone or hidden?
It's not a channel,
No,
it's a thread.
It's a thread.
And it's available under the general channel. I can show you, or somebody can tag him.
You said these are greater healing potions?
Greater healing potions, yes.
And they're made of like mushroom juice and stuff like that?
Oh,
if
yeah.
So,
I got
I will hold on to these. Thank you.
Both.
No, allow me to carry them for us.
I squint. $4d4 plus 4.
I'm not to sabotage the group, but like roleplay wise, he would probably just chug them immediately. But he's not gonna do that because we actually need these.
By the way,
you're smelling them.
Your flaws I gave you guys, they're not secret. I just whispered them because, like, I wanted to give you a choice of 2, but you can tell the group what you have if you want to.
Oh, if they can't figure it out by now, that's on them. Jeez,
Oh.
like I'm one step away from trying to seduce Basilia.
Seduce me.
Mike, you feeling alright?
Yeah. All right.
Ugh, your mushroom caps are so big.
You're mushy. I'm sorry. I'll take it back. All right. Cool.
Oh.
Shall you leave the weight of the grim knowledge behind? This place?
Yes.
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 Yeah, I would say we got nothing else to do. Or nothing that we...
The city, of course, is disturbed by the fact that this is no mere corruption, but a demon queen, free to spread her vile influence across the material plane. Some of you had witnessed the rise of Demogorgon and Stoopdeloop. How many of you guys witnessed the rise of Stoopdeloop? Is it just Eric?
Just Eric, man.
And the companions? That's kind of funny. But now the implications are even more harrowing. 2 demon lords on the loose, and who knows how many more. The Underdark trembles under this dark power, and it's only a matter of time before the surface world feels it too. With the Myconid enclave behind you, your next steps are uncertain, but one truth remains. The world above must know. It must be warned on the oncoming storm. Whether your travel is done alone or with Basidria's loyal followers, or along Myconid circles fleeing their doomed home as well, the knowledge you bear could tip the balance in the battle to come. Surface must know what you have seen here before it's too late. So, we depart Neverlight Grove.
Yay.
I will make handouts for the 2 magic items you found by the Drow Scout's body. I'll post them in both the journal and our Roll20 after session. Do we want to keep going at this point, or do we want to call it at 9 p.m. here?
I'm good going, but people.
I have to travel for work for tomorrow,
That's
but
what I
it also
figured.
might be a good point to because Eric can or Lorien can get caught up, but also be a part of the travel, because I know we'll probably hit a lot more this time.
Yeah,
This is not like you, baby boy. I'm disappointed, but that's all I'll say.
What are you just pointing in?
That he's like, oh, leave it here. No, I don't like it. Oh
Yeah,
fuck,
I'm
we have
okay with-
removed horse. That's good.
I'm okay with stopping here tonight too.
Cool.
I've had a hell of a week, so, and it's only Tuesday, so.
Sounds good.
Before we leave, who wants to keep the Onyx figurine?
I was gonna say, well, on our, we can have it in the bag, and that's attached to Clink, and then when we take our first rest on the road, we can
Yeah, if no one
figure it out.
If people are running out of attunement slots, I don't have anything yet. So.
Yeah, I don't have anything yet too, but I think I'm gonna take that crown.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it on Self at the moment. So Self is on your hand.
Okay.
Remove course. Spider climb.
I have the scroll of the protection of fiends.
Yeah, add that one.
Gizmo will take Spider Climb if nobody else is interested.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I just love the image of him walking up a wall and across the ceiling and firing from above.
Well, since you have the saddle, if you use it on Clank, then Clank can spider climb with you riding it. Because I don't think you'll fall off with that saddle, right?
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
So that might be a cool way of doing it.
Nick, just fun fact, you were mouthing off
Yeah.
the creature that was CR26.
Nice.
Yes. I was like, oh, new party. That's cool.
I was about to swings, just be like, you sure, man? Because I'm pretty sure she can one punch man you right now. If she wanted to. But you got lucky because I almost forgot that you're immune to the sports for 4 hours. So it's a good thing you're saved in the first place.
Yeah, Jeff gets inspiration for that.
Yeah, sure.
You remember.
Yeah.
I'll take it if it's really being given. Sure.
Yeah, it's really being given. Jeff MVP. I don't mind being co-DM'd sometimes. I need to remember things.
I just remember when you tossed it up and you said it's a very long paragraph, and I read through it and I'm like, okay, so here's a good part.
Yeah.
That was a good catch.
And I think we got 320 silvers. Hey, we got some multi-Russians, Self, so go at them.
Oh yes. I'll just don't mind if I do.
Delicious. Signaya.
I really hate how the original art for Zuxmoy looks like shit.
Yeah, it does. Looks
Uh,
It's
doo
an
I
doo.
put-
orange dot
I
with
put
face.
it on the screen and I was like, that's hard to look at. I just
Yeah,
deleted
it looked like just a bunch of like coffee stains blurred together.
Well, because you know what full art is, right? For Zuxmoy, I'll show you. Not what Bo posted is like a later art somebody else made. But the original
Yeah.
art for her is just like, it's cool. It certainly is cool outpost in general, but it's like it's not great.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter too because Zuxmoy can just take any shape she wants.
Yeah, true.
I was gonna say, how did she react to a Globagool in the background? I know that she's not a fan of slimes, right?
Probably the same disdain that's directed to all of you unwelcome interlopers trying to disturb her wedding, but especially with
Good
hate
point.
towards Stu. I just don't want him to not Stu, but Glabgul. Just don't want him to take this limelight that you guys so much deserve.
Did you say the slime light? Or did I just hear it wrong?
Yeah.
Limelight.
Slimelight.
Okay, on this long rest, I'm gonna make a bag of holding. So
Nice.
we have that one.
I was kind of hoping that that backpack we found was a reskinned bag of holding.
You can't see a bottom.
It might be.
I will say it's the backpack version, but I don't remember the name.
Oh, handy haversack?
I'm gonna say yes because I don't know it either.
I'm gonna tell you guys it's neither of those things.
Oh,
But you
That's
can
cool.
go ahead and make a bag of holding if you want to. I'm just saying that the backpack, if you look into it, it looks like, remember crossing the second path chasm?
yes.
It looks like that when you look like down the throat of it. Just darkness and webs.
Okay.
Just throw good
We need
Gizmo,
to identify
throw
that chest.
Gizmo in it. He'll explore around. See how big it is.
He has the hat for it.
I have the Explorer hat, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I love it
Now
how
we have.
Demogorgon was like, shows up, you guys run or you die. Zuxmoy does not even need to charge you guys, just like surrounds you guys. You run or you die, and it's like, welcome to the level 5 experience.
There are not many options.
I had a whole block of options to fighting her. Somebody was like, I want a piece of her dress. I'm like, do it, see what happens. You think I don't have something for that? Absolutely.
I was thinking about
Wait.
trying to grab some of her, like just grab a handful of her dress and ripping it off, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like, at what point is that railroading the party into something that they don't want to do? Like, that's what I'm worried about.
The
doing.
party has legs. The party can run. You can
I
stay.
guess it's true. Yeah, like they trip me and run away. Like,
I'll
that's-
tell
I guess
your
it's true.
story self. I'll tell it.
It's like that Boy Scout joke we used to tell. Two Boy Scouts hiking in the woods and they come upon a bear.
Yeah.
And the one bends down and tightens up his shoelaces. The other one says, "Who are you kidding? You can't outrun a bear." He says, "I don't have to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you."
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's a classic.
To be honest, in real life, that's one of my fears in the zombie apocalypse. I run so slow, man. So fucking slow, like all people. 60 years old run faster than me, and it doesn't make any sense.
Hey, Ivan, did you like the little Easter egg I did for you there, even though I didn't get to use him?
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna ask you about him. Like, does he has like orange mushrooms on his head?
Yep, sure does. Just put my old character in the campaign. He's like, yeah, this is where he ended up. Canon.
Happy.
Sure.
Happy ending. He wanted to be mailed, so he got it.
I wanted to meld with the Myconoids, but I was like, well, you know what? That campaign ended, so that's the fate of him. The little canon character. And then I did the monster designs after the WoW from Soma.
Hmm.
Remember the game?
And this is making me wish that Circle of Spores was better. Like, such a cool concept, but such like a bad execution of a class, in my opinion.
I never really dove into Druid too much or know about them.
I want to look up to see if they changed it in the 2024 version, maybe, or something. It's such a cool, like, being like a spore warrior. Such a cool concept, but, you know.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, to each their own.
Whatever you don't like,
I'm
you
not
can talk
that-
to your DM about it and just change it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just reflavor a paladin as a spore druid.
Okay. Oracle
guys.
found guys 892 plus 320 silvers.
There you go. Hell yeah. Thank you for
Tell
doing
my
that.
people! Warn them! You guys are like, yeah, I will definitely do that.
And the drow, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely not doing that.
Your
But I
choice.
have the head of one, so for later I'll.
Which one? I need to know they have names.
I'm gonna say the one that was not inside the worm.
So like one of the males?
One was. There were 2 males and 1 female?
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I wanted the female.
Sure, you have her head, man. I just choose
Okay.
Xenia.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, female.
I just need to know
Okay,
who they are because there were people with purposes and stuff. I just rolled the dice and I'm like, oh, they ended up here. Ugh. Yeah.
Okay. Sinaya, I think.
Snaya,
that's the
yeah.
one.
Yep. Clamby Henry. They're just relevant if you ever go to Mensa Burns and stuff. There's like many ways to play this campaign, and like, you know, you can absolutely, side with the drow or whatever if you play your dice right. So and they have different interactions and whatnot. Even though I'm pretty sure 80% of people are just like, we're gonna run away from drow and never encounter them again. Which is totally understandable.
What was the name of that Onyx figurine? Is it, if I type in Onyx figurine, will it show up on the...
It will not show up because it's my own homebrew item.
Ah, okay.
But it's a figurine of wondrous power.
Okay.
I mean, I'll just make handouts of them whenever you guys identify them. I just didn't because I knew you guys were not going to identify them this session. But I have them in my notes.
I just don't want to be, like do the thing where it's like you put something in your inventory and then forget that you have it for the entire game. So I want to make sure I mark it down.
Yeah.
That sounds like the dinosaur in Cotton.
Yeah.
Never use.
There's always the lighthouse. There's always a dinosaur. Also, if you put, Guinevere in your inventory, I'll be like, I'll know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I just need to know how to remember how to spell that. And if there's like an H in there.
Black Onyx figurine of power.
Yeah.
Displacer beast, whatever you want. We'll know what it is. Cool.
Okay.
Session 21. Every time I finish
Much for the game tonight.
Yeah.
Take
I gotta
care.
head out.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Thanks for the game, guys.
Yep,
Talk
take
to you
care,
later.
guys. See ya.
Take care, guys.
Every time we finish a run of this, I want to play Deep Rock Galactic. Every time.
Rock and stone.
Rock and Stone.
Check what is that because no idea. Galactic.
Yeah, apologies. I wasn't trying to make Boz be like a fucking asshole or to whatever to Zuckmoy. I actually thought this was gonna turn out something way different than I was thinking it was going.
Where would you think it was going?
I thought we were gonna be like, oh, maybe like there will be like a big battle here, but something happens to where the grove falls still or something, and we still have to keep running. That's why I was just like, oh, are we fighting? Like we gonna fight? And everyone's like, no, we're getting hushed out. I'm like, wait a minute.
Okay.
And I was like, I think I'm starting to pick up on what's going on now. And I was just like, luckily I rolled a fucking 23.
Roleplay your character however you want, man. You want to be a stubborn little dwarf against the demon queen? That's fine. That's part of the plot, man. It's just that I'm giving everybody a choice here, and everybody connects. You can be violent, the rest of the group can run, and that's gonna be your end. But above the table, it's like one of those like you could have a fight with the priest, the worm. That's what I call him, the priest of the wedding. You can have a fight with the procession if you want to. Just nobody threw punches, so they just shambled, Last of Us style toward the mushrooms. So it's one of those like you don't have to fight them if you don't want to. And you also have to remember that this campaign originally is XP based, but I'm doing it milestone. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention everybody level up to level 6.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We
Yeah.
love that shit.
I'll put in chat. Yeah, or you can. Thanks.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
But this originally is XP based, so like it's like, oh, we have to cleanse the Underdark from all this demonic incursion presence, so we'll fight possession for XP, right? But like when it's not XP based, you guys have like just like, why would we fight them? We're just risking health and supplies. I totally get it. And then like Zukumoy, you can fight her. I had a whole strategy and blog for like how to TPK the party. It's just that like it's kind of like, taunting. Oh, you didn't play Baldur's Gate that far. Did you meet the
No.
Lich Queen of the
No.
Crash? No, don't worry about
No.
it then.
Well, that's what caught me off guard. I was just like, oh, this seems like if we go into combat or whatever, we're just gonna get fucking wiped. And I was just like, I don't know, maybe I built it in my head as something different, but I was just like, oh, so we went all this way, we fought through madness, and I was just like, oh, we're getting turned around. And I was just like, okay, I understand like the threats coming, so we have to go find the army and everything up
yeah,
on the
it's-
surface world and tell them.
You now know you braved, because think about it, if you didn't push forward and risk that madness and suffer that consequence of, yeah, you're approaching the heart of the abyss, a little pocket of it here in Underdark. If you didn't do that, you wouldn't have knowledge, right? So there is very much a section of this chapter is like, if they just pussy out and they leave, then this happens. They did not witness what they witnessed, other things happen, and the plot sort of diverges. But because you witness what you witnessed, now you have actual solid knowledge to go on, which is great, you know? You say turn around, I mean, like, it's all your choices. You could have definitely raised your fists and fought her. I'll tell you this much, it's not a total powdery kill if you fight her, because her purposes are not to kill you guys, but you'd wish you were dead after she's done with you. It's one of those
We're gonna
like,
become
yeah,
Myconauts.
it's one of those like enjoy the lady's gift endings sort of thing. You keep adventuring with the like infestation spores in you. You wake up in a cave somewhere and like the grove is like, under her control. The Mycon under Basidia are gone, and you get like a defeat screen. Like you're not dead, but like you lost the fight because you challenged a demigod essentially. Not demigod, but a very powerful demon.
Well, we're level 6, guys. We are cooking now. The cool infusions are coming.
Yeah, just be sure that you track your madness, because I will not be tracking that. We'll appreciate it if you track down the time as time goes around. If you have 60 hours or whatever, just deduct those. Travel, when I say full day of travel, that's 8 hours. And then rest is 8 hours. And then...
Okay.
What the fuck do you do
Yeah,
with the other 8 hours?
We sleep.
Well, no, you sleep for 8... You long rest for 8 hours, you travel for 8 hours, and then what the fuck do you do?
Yeah, that time doesn't make
I craft. I
guess
craft.
You super long rest. You long rest for enough time to long rest, and you long rest some more. I don't know. Time is weird in the Underdark.
Yeah, we were talking. Can we cure madness with long-term activities? I forgot what's the name.
So if you spend a week, like just like super long resting, kind of like how Shishra recovered from his. If you spend a week recovering, Xanthar's Guide has rules for where all your stats reset, including madness levels. But see, I see that I call that from memory, and I really should be careful when doing that. I can also look up madness, and because indefinite madness is indefinite actually. See, the more I think about it, the more I realize that I'm wrong about it. There's the madness handout, if you're curious. And at the very bottom of it, curing madness. A calm emotion spell can suppress the effect of madness, while a lesser restoration can get rid a character of short-term or long-term madness. Depending on the source of the madness, remove curse or dispel evil might also prove effective. A greater restoration spell or more powerful magic is required to get rid of indefinite madness. So rest has nothing to do with this, as it turns out. See, good thing I checked.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Welcome to the big theme of this module. Madness and the Abyss are big in this module. Kind of like how horror it goes with Curse of Strahd.
I'm not trying to push the madness of the mind witness or the aberration. To use it more.
Yeah, I had a table for Zukmo Madness. I just didn't put it in my notes. I had it like it's from online, and I had to look it up. Because I hate the Indefinite Madness table. Like, if you look at the Indefinite Madness, like, half of those are like, you lose your character. Like, they're not fun, in my opinion. Like, I lied to my party forever now. Like, then you're not a party member, you know?
Fuck, what? That you're saying, like, you lose your character? The spores drows were fucking scary, like one-shotting someone from failing a throw.
She was already at 2 levels Madness. She had one. She had one when you guys found her. It developed in Nevergrove during the short rest because I keep rolling for stuff in the background, and then the infestation spores triggered again. Well, they trigger it, but she already had 2 of them, so I just had her roll against it, and if she fails the con save, I was like, "That's 3." Yeah.
Okay.
But
now we have expertise. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm just demonstrating how terrifying she is.
Oh no, fuck! Like, I'm not playing against a CR20 anything. Not yet.
You'll have to. If you,
later.
You're the one who wanted to keep this campaign past level 7. Remember?
I love that shit. I love killing gods. That's like my favorite thing in games.
Banishing them at least. I mean, hey, you killed Orcus level 10. They can bleed. They can die. We'll find a way. Killed Orcus. Banish them. I kept calling it the Sovereign she. I don't know why. Just
It's because you gave her like a feminine
for
voice.
some reason, it's an it.
Yeah.
Like
it's okay. It for me it's a she.
it's because
okay, her voice
its
is
name
feminine
ends
in
with
my
an
mind.
A, so it's like Basidia is a feminine name. So my human brain just automatically assumed shit. Yeah.
My level up was super easy. I got an ability and 1 extra key point and some health.
I
Monks.
got a bunch of shit. Do you want something specific, Nick? Let me
What do you have?
check.
What do you have?
More infusions, but
Oh.
Well, I gotta
this
go.
one doesn't work for you. But there is one that is called Radiant Weapon. It's a +1 weapon. Then bonus action gives you light, and as a reaction, when you hit an enemy, you can force them to do a Constitution saving throw against my DC. And if they fail, they become blinded.
Cool. It's kind of like what Alara had before. You know, she got a 1 punch
She
in.
ended their life.
Yeah.
Loaded.
Don't you have also like new magic items you can infuse now at level 6?
I think so. Let me check.
Also, whatever the DM allows you to make.
Yeah, that's why I was asking you the other day. Like, if we are free to create anything.
Well, not
Are you
free. Just ask me.
interested?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I just won't do the grenade of the astral plane because I don't like it.
Why?
Unless you.
It's really
I don't
not
know.
that bad.
I mean, there is no fail. Like, you just do it. So I can kill like the Demogorgon with it, or take him out of there.
If you get close enough to Demogorgon to attempt that, I'll give you kudos.
Amen.
The hole is not big enough to absorb him into there, so.
Okay.
And listen, at the end of the day, if that's how you want to cheese it, then that's how you want to cheese it, man. I'm not gonna stop you. You know?
Well, yeah, the other items I get: Boots of Elvenkan, Cloak of Elvenkan, Cloak of Manta Ray, Gloves of Thievery.
The
Lantern of Revealing is cool.
the great bit about this whole module is that it doesn't end if you kill Demogorgon. Hardly. He's a big player in this module, but like, as you saw this session, he's not the only problem.
Yeah, we have, I think, 5 Demon Lords on the loose now. Let me check.
You witness too. My biggest buffer
Yeah,
about
but-
this party is like, bless your souls and whatever. I'm glad I'm having players and everybody's playing what they want, but it sucks that Eric is the only one who's still from Valk and Valve.
Yeah,
Because it's
I was
way
gonna
different.
Say that earlier. Yeah.
When you're from start to finish.
Yeah, we have 5 Demon Lords on the loose: Demogorgon, Jubilex, Orcus, Sugatomi, and Graxlax. I have to check that name. the one of the Succubus. It's just I don't have it on the
Succubi?
list yet.
Grazilax, yeah.
Yeah,
not-
Graxlax.
Not Grashed. Why did we say Grazilax? Who's Grazilax?
I don't know it, man. I need to read it, and
Grashed.
I just
Grazilax
tried to say it.
is the Mind Flayer who helped you guys.
Grost. Okay.
Yeah, Grashed.
Dark Prince.
He's
Accept that.
heathenism. Yeah. Who knows how many
Okay,
more
yeah.
are out there? The abyss is infinite and it's leaking. I'm glad you guys had fun. If you had fun, I'm trying my best here. This
I always have fun on this.
munch can be like really awkward to run sometimes. Because like Nick said, like, I thought we were gonna have a big fight. I'm like, the show and tell kind of encounter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I didn't catch on to. And that has nothing to do with you. I guess I was just building it up as like, I don't want to say it felt bad, because it didn't feel bad. But I was just like, oh, well maybe we'll get into a fight with her and like we'll defeat her. But then the groom is like, what the fuck, no. And then like everything just goes to chaos again and we gotta run for our lives, like, you know, like, oh, the spores are falling, they're catching up to you. Like, what's that called, like when you have a chase sequence? I would have been like, oh, holy shit, that's what I thought, or something like that was gonna happen. And I was like, oh, I didn't know it was gonna be like a show and tell thing.
The chase sequence was sort of what Demogorgon was when I think about it. When I had them
I
rising out of the water,
wasn't there,
they
yeah.
were mid-fight with the priestess of Demogorgon. And then I had it showing up and it was like, okay, so if you don't get out of this arena in like 5 rounds, he's gonna be upon you. And that's bad news. So what do you do? And it was like a fight, get out, like chase sequence. And then that was sort of what we went through already. So I get why the module does not repeat that with Zuckmoy. That being said, it's whatever the party chooses to do. You could have came here with an army. You could have came here with something to face off Zuckmoy. Just that you went in here blind, and now you know what's awaiting you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't come back, right?
Yeah, I'm sure once we get, you know, help from the surface and, you know, plot a course and, you know, figure out what we're doing, we have information now. So.
But yeah, I don't know if the groom is gonna go, oh shit, the groom is one giant mushroom colony.
Yeah, I didn't know if he had, like, you know, servants or you know, champions or, you know, something. But,
it's funny, if you showed her reverence and didn't just, you know, be you, Bazarak at the Wagar with Chutzpah, if you showed her reverence, I would have been like, you want to be a champion of Zuckmoy? You want a dark gift?
give me that dark gift, baby. I always embrace them.
Yeah.
That's true. That's Nick's weakness.
Well, that's what I want to do with my character, remember, in our campaign? The thing about that,
Yes.
if you read what I got, the latest gift, there's a little caveat for it on the very bottom, where it's like, when it comes time to face off mushroom and plant creatures, you have disadvantage on everything. You're fighting against, like, what is partially your own kind now. So if it ever comes down to like a final showdown with Zuckmoy or her, or like any of her agents, then sure, you have these powers. You're champion of Zuckmoy. You're her selected, but you can't fight her with like normal attacks. And she has advantage on her charm against you too. So that's another thing. So you become like you can get charmed by her to like face off your own party. So like that. Yeah. Things like that. I wanted that for my character though. I thought it was a cool twist.
Yeah, you were gonna become one with mushrooms. Basidia.
I pretty much told the DM that if we're gonna make it this far, like, have my character like do whatever, like resolution in Everlight, and then I'll play a new character. If I die, I die. If the party kills me because I turn on them, I want that because I like that plot. And then I had a backup character afterwards. So one dark, because I literally didn't know what to do after I shoot my goal with that lizard folk. I was like, he's just a cool dude. That I want to run to like level 6, and that's it.
What, the rock licks or licks rock?
No, Licks Rock is in the other campaign. I'm talking about this is Cathrax, my bounty hunter lizard folk from the campaign back when I played with Ivan. Yep. If I had time between work, I would have rendered a better picture of Zuxmoy in retrospect.
Yeah, that's all good.
I made art for literally everything but Zuxmoy. I honestly thought you guys were getting chicken out with the whole those madness rules, so I was like, it's rough.
That's why I also thought like something big was gonna, something different was gonna come up, because
Like what?
I don't know. I see the wedding. We get a gift, something. Or,
You didn't get to see the
or,
wedding.
like,
The wedding's coming up. You can attend it.
yeah, it's a rehearsal.
Yeah.
It's a rehearsal. But yeah, like we knew Sigatomi was there, so I was expecting like extra information, something extra.
I'm trying to answer things, but and I'm trying to be like, oh yeah, you can commune with enemies within sense during combat. But at the same time, I was asking myself, like, why would a thrall of Zuxmoy answer this question? You know?
Yeah,
No,
makes
but
sense.
I got my answer. Like that's like I have an idea of what's going to happen, I guess.
Without like
Or
a
the plan.
zone of truth or whatever, or like a speak with dead spell, I was like too busy being thralls, too busy being like mindless minions that want to kill you, sort of thing, running for their lives. Yes, they're brood.
good.
Yep.
Just organizing here the notes for the party.
It's kind of funny how I introduced the vaccine essentially, because Bajorak rolled against the DC 15 for the infestation spores, I think, initially with the worm, and then the DC was higher later on. So because he was immune before, he was immune later. So it's like kind of like introducing a vaccine.
Yes.
Good encounter design, I may say so myself.
No, I agree with that.
Okay, we know that is
What?
Joyce.
I have a
I'm gonna
question to ask just before
Oh,
you
go
go. Just one
Yep.
simple question. What do you think? Should I forgo food and water tracking going forward? Like, I find that that's good for survival, and to avoid exhaustion, resources should be spent. But I also want my games to be fun.
I don't know, it's kind of I totally agree with what you just said. I totally do. But then at the same time, it's like the whole game, the travel days, everyone's gonna be like, all right, well, hey, you eat X amount of food. Okay, we do this, so we're all going back and forth. Oh, hey, we're getting low, so let's forage. Well, do we need to forage? Well, I don't know. Who can do this? Okay, we go forage.
But you're not guaranteed
It's-
to succeed foraging, so you might
Yeah,
not find
yeah,
anything.
exactly. Yeah.
And also because you're
But-
foraging, you're not doing a lot of the stuff, so you have to spend time to forage, right?
Yeah, I'm saying, like, remember when we were traveling in Cotton and everything with Mac? I think it would almost kind of, I think you would do it a lot better. But you know, it would just be like, all right, here's a day or two. Like, I think it would be like almost like a multiple session thing where we'd be traveling, getting food and all that stuff. But I do agree with what you said. Like, you're surviving in the Underdark. It's not like you just have a shop with you or something, you know? Like, that's a part of it.
Also, I love how you asked him for explosive mushrooms and then you never used them.
Well,
I only
my-
did. I only got like
4.
2 turns.
Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, combat was shorter than I by design because I was like, I don't want to focus on combat for half a session. There's a lot to
Yeah.
explore. We barely got to Zuxmoy by the end.
You know, my solution for this wedding is burn the forest. Or the mushroom forest. That's my solution. Nepal the shit out of it.
Oh, dude, open the map. Look how big it is. I don't think you're gonna achieve that, my guy. Look at the map. Look at the Aramicus is on the map. That's another part why I didn't want to answer those questions. Because I was like, you guys have the tools to find out this information between sessions. I wanted you guys to have that aha moment.
Oh!
Yeah, he's a big boy. She's marrying that.
It will take a little longer than expected, but we can do it, guys.
I don't know about that, man.
Don't worry, we'll get some gyrocopters from like artisan guilds. We'll just drop fire bombs everywhere.
It's underground.
Yeah. We bring the two eggers.
Yeah,
You know, like they
transport
have
them
their fire blasts.
underground.
Okay.
The Terrans. We become Terrans. Okay, we're not play StarCraft now.
Yeah, I love StarCraft. But I'm gonna eat some food, and I gotta get the rest of my stuff packed up, and then I'm come back Friday.
Go for it.
But I'm taking my laptop with me, so I can check in, and if not, I can do whatever on my phone.
Yeah, in RP chat, we'll be pretty much taking day one to our journey to Blinkston. If people wanna rush it, they can. I just every day you choose a pace essentially, and that determines what you encounter. Fast pace, you're just foregoing the ability to like check for like ambushes and stuff. If anybody is scouting ahead, you're easier detected. You cannot forage because you just don't have time. You're just rushing it. But you're cutting time. You're essentially traveling at 1.5 speed, if you will.
Yeah. I like 1.5 speed.
If you slow down, if you like by double almost, then you have advantage in stealth checks, you have advantage in perception checks, you're taking your time. But you're also, remember, you're getting pursued. So whenever you slow down, they maintain their pace, you're getting caught up.
Yeah.
So there's that. In fact, the fact that you guys did not long rest in the Neverlight Grove is good because you guys pretty much saved yourself a day of from the drows catching up to you.
Well, that's true too.
And I was like, those scouts don't know exactly where they are. They just receive messages from Ilvara via the message spell. So it's like, you know, they have approximation, but they wouldn't know. Then there's, of course, the how long have we been heads in this garden for, which is like, I don't have an answer for you, actually.
Alright, I'm gonna get some food. I'll hit you guys up.
Take care, Nick.
Coming up.
Alright, take care, my boys. Well, bye.
We're almost at the surface, though.
We're almost there. We're in the upper dark.
Yeah, you're entering the upper dark. Blinkston is on the horizon, more or less. 12 days away isn't that much when it comes to the underdark, and then it's the surface from there. Which is where the campaign would have ended if I decided so, but if you guys want to keep going, then we can keep going.
It's good.
It's whatever you guys decide. I know DMs out there who like keep going till the surface and then they take a hiatus, a break, and then come back to this afterwards after a few months or a year or so, but whatever you guys want.
I don't know what the hiatus should be like. Well, I imagine for things to develop in the module, I guess.
Sure.
But
You're
after
waiting
a
for
year,
this
I
to
feel
develop
like,
in the
yeah.
module?
No, like that's why they ask you like, oh yeah, there is a break of a year, but like after a year, like, oh yeah, the Underdark doesn't exist anymore. No, it's Abyss.
I mean, like IRL year, but whatever. Yeah. It's just that I would say the latter part of this module is definitely like the party needs to start picking up and choosing their own path, because it becomes almost like a sandbox. It was always a sandbox, but like for the first part, I was like, okay, they need a little bit of guidance, and I don't want them skipping vital parts. Like, it would have been a shame if you skipped Stupid Loop or like whatever. But going forward, after your ascent, if you want to redescend, it's like you choose where you go. You have to start pursuing your own sort of arcs and resolve it that way. And what you encounter is what you encounter, and how this campaign will resolve is up to you guys. But it's like no training wheels are off, essentially, at that point.
Yeah.
I need to figure out what to do with Aranis and his sister.
Well, the sister, I was planning to put it on the bag of holding.
She doesn't fit.
Oh.
That's not how bags of holding work.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Bags of holding have a certain mouth, and it's like a potato sack, almost, right? If you buy potatoes from a store, it's that big. You can't put a person in that, like through her mouth. Maybe a gnome, but like, you know, that's the exception here. Her body will be fine.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about like what to do with their story, because they have a story, but the party seems to just put them on the back burner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or
And-
insult them in the process.
Like I put them there so we have a plot for the high forest when we go to the surface. I put them there because I didn't want to just, you know, the encounter table said 2 elf commoners escaped slaves. I'm like, well, what did they do with the elf commoners? They're just gonna be like meat shields. So I wanted to give him plot and stuff and purpose. But then she died.
Yeah.
And I was like, I expected them both to die, frankly. I was like, I just didn't expect, didn't have time to prep. I should have had those 2 spore servants from round 1, but I forgot that I prepared them. And I didn't put them on the map. My bad. So if there were more of them, I would have had more action economy and I would probably kill them both. That would have been like, yes, you know, that's fate. But now that one of them survived, I'm like, well, if the party won't give them the diamond they need, they'll need to find another way to resurrect. And there are other ways. I can take the Underdark ways of the resurrection. I have ideas. I have specific notes of like, well, what if characters die and they don't have resurrection magic? I have ways.
There's always a way.
Phasrus.
Yeah, that's how I imagine
Yeah.
it will be.
Allowing the chips to fall where they may in combat, emphasizing the challenge nature of this adventure. However, if the characters start falling just as fast, you might want to give the players some opportunities to return dead characters to life during the lower levels of their progress to Out of the Abyss. A spell scroll phrase dead is something I already gave you guys. It's something that can be found in the wild. You guys found one in Valkenvalve with a DC whatever. Did you guys ever use it, by the way? Oh yeah, you used it on Megan, I
Yeah,
remember.
Brooke.
Or yeah, a strange Phasrus effect can bring a fallen character back to life, but not without cost. The restored character's madness level is increased by 1 upon being restored back to life, right? So that's one thing. The elf can seek Phasrus and bring her back that way. He's not gonna leave her behind in the grove. If the fallen character's body is lost or left behind, the party then Invar can raise them. That's another dark thing I could have done, but that's what I did with what's his face? The draft from prison.
Yeah, Sarid.
Seraph. Elvira just like, he was in her camp lying there. I'm like, you're gonna give me information, and she just raises dead on him because she's a cleric. Yeah, so pretty much I think I'll have Aramis seek out Phasrus because he knows all about it. So resurrect her that way. But like, I want the party to also make decisions. Like, if you guys are gonna keep putting them on the back burner, and then like telling them like, oh, the death of your sister does not matter and all that, and things like that, and just make the decision of like have them leave. Because why did you have them join you guys? You know, that's sort of what I'm thinking
I
about.
get what you mean.
We'll see. Just have to find the next phase for this infused place. Sort of reminds me of that quest in Baldur's Gate 3 with the pregnant girl and her husband. And the hag.
Oh, okay.
Just carry around a zombie forever.
Yeah. Medium, I think that was her name.
Yeah.
For me, it was the hardest quest. Like, the emotional suffering of her was like, oh fuck, it's killing me.
I gave her the happiest of endings. You have to realize that catharsis only comes from yourself, and you have to make her realize that he's gone. You can't force that upon her. You can't just snap the one from her face. You have to Like, if
Yeah,
she
she
wants to
has
take
to
her
just-
husband, she has to come to terms with that he's gone. And eventually she does. If you stick around, you save her from the hag twice. And then, her husband's still around for that. Eventually she'll just realize that Connor is gone. The body's just a husk, and she'll let him go himself. And she'll be happy, and she'll have the baby. And she'll be a happy mother, and she'll move on living. You know?
Hacks are cool. I enjoy them too much.
They're good plot points. Anyway, if you don't have any other questions about the campaign, I'm gonna stop recording here.